is up, everyone? Welcome back to the stream. It feels like it's been forever since we've had a stream. Oh, and it's been so long that I forgot to take my overlay off. I apologize, everyone. We'll fix that real quick. There it is. Woohoo! Welcome back. We have a spicy matchup in T5S2 Season 7 Pod 11 today. This is the final round. These two players are undefeated thus far, fighting for their tournament lives to get those sweet, delicious T5S2 rankings points and qualify for the Season 7 Invitational. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I'm just coming off of Adepticon, and hey, my voice is still absolutely dead, I think, from the weekend, but I had an absolutely awesome time. If anybody else went over there over the weekend and played or hung out, I hope that you also enjoyed your time.
There's literally only one spot.
How's it going, everybody? We see a dude's in here. Set stress car, by the way. Thanks for the raid earlier. The prediction is up for those who are interested in getting some delicious tokens.
Oh, hey, that was you. And then I think
So you can go ahead and throw in your lot for the winner. Do some good fucking streaming. Hell yeah. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to provide good streams to everybody. Yeah, we got cubes on the table today. I think you gotta vote for the cubes, right? They're like they're the several cubes that could. Players have begun deployment real quick here. So as the players are setting up their armies, we'll go ahead and run through the lists super quick. Exclamation point lists in chat if you want to follow along at home. We have over here in the blue, Indicius Magpie playing Iron Hands. Indicius, I think, is a Space Marine at heart. Anytime he can play Space Marines, he will. It certainly feels like. He'll also jump to other stuff if it's strong. But Space Marines and Tyranids do feel like Indicius is jam. And Indicius is, I think, the absolute quintessential tournament grinder. He puts himself into every tournament he can in order to get to these final matchups, in order to get his strong season rankings points and get himself into that invitational. And it's that real Sigma grind set, you know? He's putting the work in and he's getting the results. He is playing Iron Hands today, obviously in an Arcs of Omen detachment. This one is classic Iron Hands, no successor chapters in play here, so that we can actually play the Iron Hands specific abilities. So these guys are going to get double wins for bracketing on their vehicles, which I think literally does not matter in this case because we have no bracketing vehicles in the list. But we also get a 6+ damage ignore and unlock all of the Iron Hands specific, special relics and warlord traits and units. So that means you don't have to pay for Bequeathed by the Iron Council, I think it's called, the stratagem that gives a successor chapter in Iron Hands relic. Costs you additional CP if you want to get things like the Tempered Helm into your list to give you CP regen. And sometimes you just want to play Iron Hands to get around that. And you're like, yeah, whatever, I'm not going to do it. This list is a little interesting, though. It's focusing on these heavy infantry. We have tons of heavy intercessors taking up the center of the list to act as sort of this big, huge, unkillable bulwark. And the combination of effects that are going to make those as hard to kill as possible is the first HQ in here, Iron Father Fieros. He does have a Signum Array, so he can give out +1 to hit to either a vehicle or a unit. So interestingly, I guess he's basically taking the place of a Tech Marine we would normally see in this list to buff up the relic Contemptor Dreadnought. He can do that himself by giving +1 to hit, but alternatively, if the relic Contemptor Dreadnought does not have any good targets, which oftentimes it will not, he can buff up a unit of most likely Desolators with that +1. So that's another benefit of being in Iron Hands. Iron Father Fieros has had a little bit of a rocky career, I think. He started off extremely broken when he was initially released in 8th edition, and has slowly decreased in power level. Not least because he's gotten some massive nerfs to his abilities. But now in this universe where Desolator Marines end up being one of the most powerful units in the meta game, not necessarily from a raw damage standpoint, but from their ability to kill Eldar and Guardsman profiles from indirect fire. The big downside those guys suffer is that they do get that indirect fire penalty, and Fieros does have a little bit of he can alleviate that a little bit. So that's nice. Love to see that guy on the table. We do also have a Primaris Lieutenant. This guy is the super cool, I believe this is the sword and pistol build, where he has a 2 damage relic power sword as well as the big shield. I think one of the most badass builds. This is a captain model, I think. The actual lieutenant model has this gun out, but either way, it's basically the same. That's the Indomitus Primaris Lieutenant build. Running Rites of War for the objective secured aura and expanding the range of that aura with the Vox Espiritum up to 9 inches. We're getting reroll 1s to hit on basically every attack that this army makes, by the way, just because of the fact that it is going to be sitting in Devastator Doctrine for the entire game and making use of that Iron Hands Super Doctrine, which gives you reroll 1s and ignoring the move and shoot penalty with heavy weapons, which means that you don't really need, Captain Auras in this list, since all of your ranged weapons are going to be benefiting from that. So having this huge Lieutenant Aura, this huge 9-inch Lieutenant Aura, is giving you reroll 1s to hit and wound for basically everyone, which is going to be pretty... It gives you a ton of consistency for this army, which is amazing. We then have 3 units of heavy intercessors. These guys are running Executor Bolters and Executor Heavy Bolters. So these are the Stalker Bolt Rifle Heavy equivalents. So they're coming in, looks like their data sheet's a little bit scrapped here. But I believe that they come in at a flat 2 damage at Strength 5 AP 2. So it's all going to bump to Strength 5 AP 3. And then the Heavy Bolter is a 2-shot 3 damage gun as well. So 3 bricks of those guys to be hard to kill. 1 unit of Infiltrator, or excuse me, 2 units of Infiltrators, it looks like. Is that right? No, 1 unit of Infiltrators to give some turn 1 Deep Strike denial. Oh, no, we do have 2 units. Excuse me. I misread. Alongside a Company Ancient, this guy with Storm of Fire, which gives a rending effect to a unit. The Relic Contemptor Dreadnought that we see in basically every single Iron Hands list ever. This one running Merciless Logic. A pack of 2 twin Volkite Culverins and a Cyclone Missile Launcher on the top. Looks like players have shook hands and... Oh, and Iron Hands are going first. Uh-oh. Well, we'll see how well the Necrons can survive this. Having a little bit of trouble with these Infiltrators here. The Infiltrators are an asset bundle, by the way, just speaking technically in the TTS, which makes them a little bit awkward when it comes to placing them, because they tend to be they have like a kind of a complex collider, whereas a lot of other models in the game actually don't have a collider on their models. Yeah, you can see they like bump into each other there. A little bit annoying that they fall over, but whatever. It's on your clock, so it is what it is. To round out this list real quick, we do have 3 units of Devastators. 2 in a drop pod, mix of grav cannons and multi-meltas on those guys, as well as what I imagine to be 3 units of Desolators. Yes. Does this have Desolators in it? Hold up. What am I looking at right now? I see only Devastating Squads on this list. Am I crazy, chat? Where are these Desolators? It is likely that they may not have been in Battle Scribe, and so we left reinforcement points in the list for them. Oh, yeah, it says 3x Desolation Squads at the back. Just a little messed up. That's okay. I think it had to be manually typed in, because when this event started, I doubt that they were in the in Battle Scribe. Okay, moving on real quick. We have a very spicy list facing this relatively normal Iron Sands list with all these Desolator Marines. This is the dreaded cube list. So Raze667 over here in the red loves him some Necrons and loves him some big stompy boys, and that is what we're playing today. We have a Mephrit Dynasty, so extending range on our ranged weapons and giving additional AP within half range. A Mephrit Dynasty detachment, bringing 3 units of 2 Cryptothralls, alongside 3 Cryptechs to unlock free slots for those guys. So the 3 Cryptechs being 2 Plasmancers and a Technomancer. The Plasmancers have the ability to do some mortal wounds. They get character protected by the Cryptothralls with their Bodyguard ability, and when they're near the Cryptothralls become absolute melee powerhouses, effectively doubling their damage output both in melee and at range. We have a Technomancer with the Hyper Material Ablator to grant cover to a core unit that you target. It's going to be super useful because basically every single unit in this army is a core unit. I believe, besides, I think, the Silent King and the characters. We have 5 Death Marks in the Elite slot. Some little nice guys to do a little bit of intercepting and hold down some objectives. Looks like we may be angling this drop pod over here to try to take a shot at this Technomancer. That would be unfortunate if we removed the cover granting guy. But that also means that the drop pod could knock down the Crypto Thralls and cede control of this objective to the Iron Hands. We then have 3 monoliths with particle whips and Gauss flux arcs on their turret guns, alongside a Tesseract Vault and the Silent King himself. So this list is absolutely wild. It is made possible by the fact that you no longer need to build this into separate detachments. It can all be built into the Arc's Bowman detachment, which gives every single model in the list, including the Super Heavies, their sub-faction ability. Oh, it looks like we are going to Hunter from Hyperspace over here, or Aetheric Interception, excuse me. So these guys can pop out in response to the drop pod getting dropped in. That's interesting. So you could use this theoretically to shoot at the models disembarking the drop pod, but I guess if you use it in response to the drop pod being placed, the death marks end up actually screening out positions where the Devastator Marines themselves could drop. So if we surround the drop pod with 9-inch anti-deep strike bubbles, that actually forces the Devastators to actually deploy in a really, really bad line of sight position for them. So we may not get that many attacks onto the Technomancer, and we may not get any attacks onto the Crypto Thralls. Oh no. Get absolutely slapped, Space Marines. Now, the question there is whether or not that unit can take their shot from Aetheric Interception, since that it does give you a gunshot off of it.
It used to be I would have to shoot at the drop pod, but they clarified the rules on that.
This guy will come over here.
Outside of 9.
No,
Yeah, you're good there. What's your intended shooting with?
Yeah, so the hunters from hyperspace, or excuse me, yeah, the hyperspace hunter unit that gets dropped in thanks to the interception can then shoot at a unit that arrives with reinforcements. And because of the recent FAQ, I guess I say recent, but it's like 3 months old now. Because of the latest FAQ, models being disembarked from transports that are brought out of reserve are also themselves considered reserve for that turn. So units like drop pods and Tyrannocytes will disembark reserve units, despite the fact that that unit itself was brought on the table as a disembarker, not as a reserve. That was a reversal of how the rule worked previously, but it does mean that these death marks can now take a shot at the Devastator squad, and they may be able to knock out a Marines Devastator Sergeant before the squad gets to shoot. All right, Devastator Sergeants, Perturabo. All right, fair enough. I think that they are. I think they're tiny Primarchs. What's up, buddy? That is very appropriate for the Devastator Sergeants, because these guys actually slap super hard now that they get free combi weapons and free free Thunder Hammers as well. You engage those Devastator squads and you expect them to just slap you a little bit with their like no melee weapon, heavy weapon guys, and then the sergeant comes in with his Thunder Hammer and just turns you into a fine mist, turns you into paste. It's very unfortunate. So that's actually extremely cute. I love this. I love this Deathmark play from Raze here. It doesn't seem like Indicius is entirely prepared for that. So might be that he gets some shots. I think the drop pod itself is a little physically line of sight blocking right now, though. Yeah, plus the tree in the way. I am not sure that we have line of sight to these. I guess one. I'm not even sure. Yeah, the even red squad has line of sight since this obscuring turn will block the edge there. That's super cool. You can tell that Raze pre-deployed this matchup, I think, earlier, and he knows that if he hunters from hyperspace right here, 9 inches away from his models, he can block that line of sight. That's adorable.
Can be as far away out as once. Yeah,
absolutely, chat. Yeah, that's I mean that's the hallmark of somebody who is practiced at playing this list and on these maps. And I know that is something that Raze like prides himself in doing is a very technical play, and especially kind of getting a lot of practice games in. So here comes the Etheric Interception shot. Looks like we're missing one of them. Let's get some 3s to the wound here, buddy. That's okay. Inflicting a mortal wound thanks to their sniper rule.
These are AP. Okay, so these are AP4, so they punch right through. These are both AP3, and did 2 additional mortals.
so 2 at AP 3.
Yeah, I think they're 3, right? Death marks. Yeah, 3. So 6 ups.
2 6 ups. Nope.
Nope.
And how
So you
many
take a total of 6. It'll be 6 damage total.
Okay. So I get 6 up
Oof.
Piano Pains.
Okay. So it did make 2
save
piano
two.
pains. It's pretty good, but we do kill 2 devastators on the interception. Okay. All right. That's what you want to see out of that Deathmark unit. And if you save control of that objective and even potentially allow the Crypto Thralls to get stuck in and kill a Devastator squad, then that's perfect. That's exactly what you want.
I'll just kill.
Sounds
Okay.
good. All right,
Put it.
proceed.
And that is pretty much all.
No Paladin.
End of movement.
Round 1 play match against the cubes. Blew up the vault. The explosion wipes down the HQs and a unit of thralls. Oh my god. That's horrible. I don't know how to feel about explosions like that in the game today, because I do feel like we want the big and cool explosions, but I do hope that it doesn't just immediately end the game. That sounds brutal.
Psychic and shooting.
Here's your objective, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Just gonna put it right next to the drop pod since I can't put it anywhere else.
Yep, should be fine.
Right over there. Okay, let's start with these guys since you were kind enough to shoot them.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no.
They are closer to the death marks, so you cannot shoot at my Technomancer.
I see him. This cryptic again. Okay, so the grabs are gonna go into your death marks, and the melter will go into the little murder buckets. I'll be giving +1.
One of them can see, so this guy can't shoot at the murder buckets.
No, he's not shooting at all. He's just
Yeah,
you'll
oh.
put it in that. It's just this guy is shooting into
He's
your.
got like a bolter gun or something.
It's a combi melter, but it's very close range.
Okay.
So
It
he'll put
is
his.
a Save a bolt gun? Yes. And that's an attached multi-gun because we're playing Space Marines in 2023.
Murder buckets.
Every bolt gun must have an attached combi weapon,
Melter guy,
otherwise it doesn't
2
get played.
ballistics.
Okay, so he's hitting on 3s for -1 from the dents.
Hitting on 3s, we roll 1s. Yeah, he hits on 2s. Okay, that's fine. And
Wow,
then 4
correct.
grabs into your.
So it looks like we
marks.
totally whiffed on the
It's on.
Crypto Thralls. Gonna
Please.
see if we can clear the death marks here.
And these will wound on your toughness.
5.
So 4s. Okay, 1 just goes pop.
It's AP3 up to 4.
AP4.
So do I stand up?
I still have
I
more
do not.
shooting, but okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
The melter.
I don't think your 1 melter shot will wipe the squad.
Yeah, but I get to shoot again.
It
Okay.
doesn't wound.
And then I'll pop the cherub,
Mhm.
and it'll fire into your. The death mark boys.
So that's the grab again.
Yeah, the grab will go into them again.
Okay.
He's hit on 3s.
Not gonna take the Cherub Melta shot into the Crypto Thralls. Killing those Crypto Thralls would be huge right here. If those Crypto Thralls get stuck in and clear between the Crypto Thralls and the Technomancer shooting, if they clip the Devastator Marines and like blocks in these Devastators touching the drop pod, they can actually make it incredibly difficult for that unit to engage this objective.
The Cryptek? Yeah, the only ones who can't see is this one behind the drop pod. The rest can all see the Cryptek.
Can he?
They're just not closer to the Cryptek than the death marks are.
I guess we'll come back to that later.
So
Sure.
the
So
play
these
here
guys-
for sure is to take. We can fire the Desolators, underslung guns, their indirect fire into the death marks to clear them, and I can try to get the Devastator closer to the Technomancer. That does mean that I don't think the Technomancer has high enough armor for the grab cannons to trigger, but it should probably go down to a full Devastator squad shooting at it.
These guys see you? Nope. These guys are doing an action.
I guess we do have the Relic Contemptor as well, but I
Suppose
guess
these
you
guys
want
are
to be
fine.
putting the
Okay,
Relic
let's start
Contemptor
with
into the
purple.
vaults.
So purple's
Okay.
gonna put all the indirects. The small indirects will go into your death marks,
Okay.
and the Sergeant's Vanguard launcher will go into your Crypto Thralls.
So the interesting thing here is that the
And then all
unit
the
will actually
anti-tank
not
are gonna
suffer
go
the
into your
-1 to hit the
Death
death
Mark.
marks, since at least one model in
So
the
you
unit
have
can see.
one guy shooting at this squad.
No, 4
Okay,
guys.
what do you mean by
4 guys are using the indirects on these guys. The
So,
Sergeant has his well, in fact, all 5 indirects are gonna go into your death marks.
wait? They have 2 guns.
It's sort of a combi melter that I can fire both profiles. It's a combi
fuck?
gun.
Indeed.
It has the super crack that is like the tank bit, and then it has the Castellan launcher at the bottom that shoots.
Oh, wow.
indirectly.
Yeah, these things are dumb. Usually it's fire one or the other.
Yeah, you can fire both. So
That
five,
is stupid. Yeah, go for it. All right.
D3 shots are going into these guys.
Yeah.
1d6 is going into your crypto claw.
So my zoom's acting up a little bit here in
anti-tank
chat.
shots are
I'm
going
just
into
gonna
your
reset my
Tesla
camera. It's a little bit funky.
I wish it had both profiles.
I wonder if my mouse is broken. Might be time for a new mouse.
Unfortunately, this was before. Like this was just before they.
So, okay, I'm looking at the page profile, and it only has a Vanguard launcher and a super crack. What's the other gun?
Castellan launcher.
It is not on the data sheet.
Unfortunately, this is battle scarab. That's a battle scarab.
Okay, I don't disbelieve you. I just have no idea what the gun is.
Yeah, Battlestar.
It's a 1d3 strength 4 AP -1 shot. That
Okay,
ignores
strength
line of
4, AP -1. Got it.
sight. Okay, so these are the strength 4 shots going into your
Yeah.
death marks.
Mhm.
That is 9 shots.
9 shots.
Now, because this guy can see you, I don't take penalties.
Mhm. Assuming he can actually see me, which he totally can.
9 shots. I hit on 3s, reroll 1s.
And you wound on 5s.
Yep, and I reroll 1s. Okay. So let me just double check. Yep. So these are AP3. That's
The extra AP is from.
the ancient with the storm of fire.
Okay,
These are AP3.
check this. Wait a second. Within 6 inches. Are you within 6? You are. Okay. So these are 6-ups. Nope. And this is a 5-up. Yep. And then do I stand up on 5s?
No.
I do not. So you kill 2.
Oop. Yeah.
Or just keep the ones that are closer to your squad than the Technomancer or Cryptech.
Okay.
Proceed.
Then the Vanguard launcher is going to go into those mother buckets.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 shots. He's giving
Hitting
himself.
on 4s? Or you gave yourself the +1 ballistic skill.
Yeah, but I will
Wait.
take the penalty, so it's 4s.
Okay. And dense twice?
That's 4s though, because I'm 2 up with
Okay.
this skill. So 4s. Okay.
Didn't matter.
Three,
T5
four.
still.
Strength 6. These are AP3.
So cover. I'll be saving on 5s.
Oh, sorry, AP2, AP2.
Okay, I'll be saving on 4s. Damage?
2.
So I will roll these one at a time.
Yeah,
Look at
this
that,
is
gorgeous.
1.
They're good.
Let's double
So
check
cover
that.
being granted from Protocol of the Eternal Guardian.
Just before we do
Right
that.
now.
should
The
be
terrain here
AP1.
itself doesn't grant
what
light
it looks
cover;
like.
it only grants dense cover. But the protocol will, which has saved us.
Yeah, AP1. Okay, so just AP2. Okay. That's that. And then we got 4 anti-tank rounds going into your vault.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can see you, these are 3s. And these are 3s. Reroll 1s.
Yep.
All that on you.
All four.
4s.
All
That's
four
all right.
of the
Yeah.
big super cracks convert. 2 go through.
Only
D3 plus 3 damage
6.
apiece. Disgusting. So I think a little bit scary here for Raze is that he has chosen to reserve all of his monoliths and one of his plasmancers as well, which does mean that he needs his units to stick around for a little bit to get rid of his opponent's infiltrators. That's a very dangerous proposition. It's mostly he does it because the alternative is that those models just sit in the front of his deployment zone. They get constricted by the terrain since monoliths, for whatever reason, don't fly anymore. So they can't move through the paths between the ruins particularly effectively. And they also don't get the benefits of dense cover. So they're incredibly easy to light up on the first turn, assuming Raze goes second. So for relatively little gain. Now, unfortunately for Raze in this situation, he's going to have to survive a turn, which is already looking a little bit sad. He's taking 11 damage from the Tesseract Fault to begin with, and has all this additional shooting going into it. If the Tesseract Vault goes down, he's going to have a hard time clearing out the infiltrators, and if he doesn't clear out the infiltrators, these monoliths may not deploy in a particularly relevant situation.
Won't matter at this point now.
On round 2.
Go into your little buckets.
Mm-hmm.
5 shots. It's on 4s. There goes 1s. It's on 3s. There goes 1s. 1 on -2.
4 up.
It's dead.
-2. Does it stand up? Whoop. Nope. We'll just grab this one.
Well, unfortunately, the reanimation protocols here. You'd hope that at
Also
least one
cracks
death mark would
into
come
the
back,
TV.
but not quite.
It's on 3s. There's 1s. One's on 3s. 1 on your 4 up.
4 up. And the bucket, please.
Yep.
He's good.
And we go again. Okay, you died to something else. Okay, what else is in range? So this is white. Where's your other buckets?
They're all hidden. But they all have cover, so it's irrelevant.
That's T5. Yeah, I'm in range.
For sure.
I'm
yeah,
gonna
no.
put all the indirects into.
As soon as these like 270 point death machines start rolling, rumbling across the table, things go south pretty quickly. For one person to another, it might be the Necron player, but it might just as easily be you. They're basically just incredibly efficient right now in terms of points value for Lord of War. They are outdamaged by basically all the other Lord of Wars in the game. They're not very good, but that doesn't matter so much when they cost less than 300 points. You compare them to a lot of like similar battle tanks. Like they're like equivalent points cost to a Land Raider and have 24 wounds and a billion guns on them. And a good melee profile as well. It's just kind of sort of wild. And especially with core keyword, they get all the synergies from the Silent King. They get rerolls. It gets kind of insane.
He's dead.
2 points for.
Fucking very impressive rolling. Good job.
2 points.
So unfortunately, death mark's down, so we do open up the Technomancer to get shot by the second Devastator unit over here. And it does look like the majority of the unit's going to have line of sight. Looks like at least 3 guys, probably, maybe 2. But once you buff up one of those models with the Signum from the Devastator Sergeant, those 2 models feels like a lot more.
I think you already.
What does it give me?
Oh, wait, that wasn't my movement phase, I think.
That was my shooting phase. I fire. Yeah, I fire. Reroll in your shooting
Yeah, that
phase.
was my movement. That was my movement phase.
I don't think it's closer to anything, so no, I'll just let it go. That's
Okay.
fine.
So another 2 points for Codex Warfare. Okay, and
Yeah,
4
I was under the impression these things had to fire one or the other. The fact that they get to fire both is very stupid.
That's what makes it. Now,
That's a
shots
good thing
into
with
your
the Desolation Squad for sure. The real question is whether, like, when you get to fire the Super Crack missile, because most players are not going to be putting themselves in easy line of sight of an Iron Hands army.
Reroll that, and then
Just knowing the incredible, straight shot damage output that Iron Hands have, they're one of the most effective gun lines in the game. So you want to hide yourself as much as possible, at least from the Relic Contemptor, which means those Super Cracks don't usually get shot. And I think a lot of the kind of the negative reviews of the Desolation Squad. Oh my God, look at that! 22 down, 23 down. A lot of the negative reviews of the Desolation Squad datasheet had been assuming that their Super Crack missile may not get to shoot that often, and they'd mostly be relying on their anti-infantry shooting, their Castellan launcher. But as soon as they get to shoot both of those weapons together, they make up their points value incredibly quickly. But unfortunately for this Tesseract Vault, it is only a T7 vehicle. Its saving throws aren't amazing. It does have a 2+ and a 4+ invulnerable save. But at T7, 30 wounds, and as large as it is, it cannot hide from anything. It gets seen through obscuring terrain. And the majority of weapon profiles in this Iron Hands army are an incredibly strong profile matchup against it. Since most of them, they're crack missiles, so they're quote-unquote only strength 8. Which against a lot of heavy armor wounds on 4s, but because this Tesseract Vault's toughness 7, they're going to wound on 3s.
he doesn't explode at least.
No explosion, and there goes the Tesseract Vault. Yeah, I think that was mostly to be expected. We didn't even need the Devastators to do it. We just did it with the Desolation Squads. And that is Necrons significantly on the back foot, having lost about 500 points in the first
Oh yeah,
round.
they're heavy. I didn't think they were heavy.
Yep. And then we're going to just fire.
Yeah, and a big explosion, just blow up the entire Necron army for the Rubbins, I guess, you know?
These guys are wild.
Yeah, unfortunate to see that go down. We are protected a little bit here, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
this Necron army is also sort of predicated on having these Cryptothralls protect the Technomancers to be able to hold objectives from behind line of sight blockers. And
Go straight.
with the number of Castellan launchers in this Iron Hands army, they're going to be able to put so much indirect fire into those little guys that even if the profile's not that good, they do wound on 5s and put them to a pretty reasonable save. You're firing so many of them with 15 Desolation Marines that you'll eventually kill them. And then suddenly there's nothing safe that's safe holding the objectives here. So the question for Raze, I think, is whether or not he comes out at all, whether he goes to fight or
It's what's the AP on?
with the Silent King, or holds back for a turn and waits for the
Yep, we're gonna take it out.
sort of seeds board position and waits for the monoliths to come
I'm
in.
gonna do it. I'll use it on the melter. So those ones.
Now we also have, regardless of what happens here, it looks like the Technomancer's down to 1 wound, not quite dead yet.
Yeah, get right fucked.
And these Devastators rolling terribly. The Technomancer is still alive, and it does have a resurrection protocol in the chamber too if it needs to come back to life.
I'm done. So I get
Okay.
Because that is the benefit of Necrons. They do have incredible CP economy.
Yeah, dice.
Oh, and he went down, unfortunately.
and that's me done.
No resurrection protocol? No, sad. Yeah, that is unfortunate. I think that this game, we had an interesting game. I think if the Necrons had ended up taking the first turn here, but I think going second,
Yeah, sure, why not? I guess I could pick up your
and seeding this board position
Does that matter?
means that like the monoliths in reserve here are basically are going to come in a turn too late. We need the Tesseract Vault to like eat all of the shots for the monoliths and get a bunch of damage done. Because the Tesseract Vault, if you pump it full of CP to do additional Catan powers, can actually rip up like most of an army. It does insane damage in the Catan power phase at the end of your movement phase, but not so much if it just gets shot by crack missiles and dies. So so I think we answered the question of what Raze was going to accomplish on his second turn. The answer is literally nothing. I think he literally just said pass the turn and go. So we're ticking up for Iron Hands, giving Iron Hands very little, if not nothing, to shoot at. I think what the Iron Hands are going to try to be doing right here is putting all of their Desolation Squads into the 2 Cryptothralls, and that would open the Plasmancer to get shot with the heavy weapons. So we probably just keep this Relic Contemptor in line of sight of that Plasmancer. Line of sight's a little bit awkward, actually. Might just do it with grav cannons in the sides. But trying to get some long-range guns in any case in line of sight of that Plasmancer, and then hope that we cross our fingers and hope that we kill those Cryptothralls. But I certainly don't. I don't think this is like a salty move on Raze's part. I think it's just it's a calculation. You know, if the Silent King comes out and tries to kill some infiltrators to open up space for the monoliths to come in, the Silent King just probably dies, or at least loses his Minears on the follow-up turn. Raze needs to drop in. Raze needs to have his opponent push super far forward to try to screen him, and then drop in through monoliths and kill a ton of stuff. And if he can do that, he can potentially push through the remainder of the game.
I guess I could raise a banner with the Plasmancer.
Yeah, we might as well drop a banner down. I do appreciate these players. Seems like they are committed to having a relatively fast game here. So what do we think, chat? Do Necrons still have a chip and a chair in the matchup here? Now we're down 1 Tesseract Vault, but we have all of it. Look at this. Look at this reserves here, chat. Look at this massive brick of reserves. Silent King himself is basically in reserve, and it's not like that guy's a slouch. He's extremely good at killing Space Marines. How are you supposed to win if none of your models are on the table? Yeah, they'll get there.
Go 6.
He should have a little bit of room here, chat. I'm imagining we see a cube get dropped here. We see a cube get dropped here. And we see maybe a cube, maybe another cube over here. You have to worry about Auspex scans from these guys, I think, since they can fire melta-guns and multi-meltas into the cubes coming in. But I mean, a monolith will just like run the flank over here on this side with the Devastators. This is WTC format chat. The trees are permeable. They do not impede movement or placement. They only count for line of sight.
The banner.
That's a WTC role, and we're using the WTC layout. So we for that
Round
in
two
particular,
protocol
we use the,
was plus one living metal.
we use that.
Sure.
Yep, it's wholly within your quarter. Okay, so count the bomb. That's fine, I'll do that another time. So, yeah, those guys are just sitting there enjoying life, not caring. Let's get on shooting. Yellow, I mean, white is going to shoot into the. Metal, can't see dick. Okay, white is not going to shoot yet. Purple is going to shoot into these crypto phones.
Yeah, maybe it's a cunning ploy to lull your opponent into a false sense of security, like losing a super expensive Lord of War before it does anything, and your opponent's like, "Aha, I will win now," and pushes everything forward, and then your monoliths come down and kill them. Maybe Raze is just playing like 5-head, 3D chess over here.
We'll do afterwards. So these are number of shots. Just 5.
It's the other side of the dice.
Might have left him a hole in the
These
back,
are
like
hits on
over
5s.
here.
Okay.
I
Wounded on
doubt
5s.
that. I think you're thinking like
Rolling
we have these
ones.
guys screened.
1 at
These
AP.
guys- Oh,
2,
maybe
3.
actually for its 9. I'm not gonna
5
measure it
up.
right now because the players can
I take
see
a
the
damage.
measure, but
Yep.
I will.
The sergeant's Castellan
We'll
launcher.
see. We'll see this coming turn. That would be sick, actually.
3 shots. He's hit on 4s.
Wait, he has a launcher and a Vangor launcher?
Yeah, he has 2 indirect guns.
Oh, okay.
One's a strength 6, the other one's a strength 4. So this is 5s to wound. Nothing.
The Desolator Sergeant
shots with
replaces
other
the
gun.
super crack, so he loses
2
the high
shots.
damage gun, but he gets the second indirect.
It's on 4s.
That guy's a badass.
He's
That
on
Desolator
3s.
Sergeant. What a Chad.
1 minus 2.
5 up.
He's dead.
Do I stand back up? Nope.
You. And we do it again.
Now these Venger launchers are going to do absolutely insane work against these poor Crypto Thralls, though. I'm so sad for these guys.
I forgot to do it all together. I don't really care at this point. 7 shots. Use the main profile. I'll just use the average profile. So these are hits on 5s.
Mm-hmm.
Go 1s. Hits on 5s.
Just,
ones.
I think we rolled everything through dense here was the problem that Indicius was commenting. So yeah, hitting on 5s. Plank's down to 1. All right, Crypto Thrall. I believe in you, buddy. Survive, please. We need that Plasma Minister to hold the objective, s'il vous plaît. We have another unit of Crypto Thralls here, but they're not touching the objective right now. I bet we could have. I think we could have safely put them on the objective. That might be a little bit of a mistake on Raze's part.
Okay,
Damn,
good.
it's dead. Crazy.
No! Crypto Thrall, no! We needed you, buddy.
And do you have any more? I can shoot. White will shoot into these guys.
Sure.
So 4 of them. That is 3, 6, 7. They are +1 to hit, so they hit on 4s.
Mm-hmm.
Those 1s. And on 5s. The 1s. 1 at -3.
5 up.
Take the damage.
Take a wound.
Sergeant's 1. 2 shots. It's on 2s.
Considering we're firing at the second Crypto Thrall
No, it's on
unit here,
3s.
because we could just fire at the
Mhm.
Plasma Minister and try to kill it.
No, wait, but he has +1 to hit.
I guess you
so
fire out
yeah,
your
he hits
direct
on
guns
2s.
first.
That's so White had the +1 hit from Ferris.
Yeah, so wait, if he goes to ballistic skill 3 up, with +1 to. No, he hits on 3 because of negative, because of the. Wait, is he in dance? Nope, there's no dance between me and you.
Nope.
So he hits on 2s.
He should hit on. Yeah.
2 Astra Militarum, 1
marking
Iron
your,
Hands. Yeah, I do
+1
know
to
Raze ends up playing against Astra Militarum quite a
during the
bit.
command phase.
By the way, for those who don't know, Raze streams all of his games into the Discord. Now, he doesn't have a Twitch
Sure.
channel or anything, but he does. If you are in the
5
Tactical Tours Discord, ! Discord if you're not in there right now.
Surely I will make this.
Raze does go live with basically every game that he
I'll
plays.
reroll that.
So if you ever want to watch
It's
Necrons
important.
play against a wide variety of matchups, you can just
Does
tune in when Raze
does
is
he
playing.
stand up?
He usually posts up as well into the Discord whenever he's playing.
Nope.
I do appreciate the sort of level of community engagement.
Stuff about your kills.
Damn, I needed that guy to live.
So that's that, and then that's it.
Yep.
No time.
Okay, I get 4.
So the Plasmancer survives.
Time.
Holds down on the objective.
Unfortunately,
He's on the board in terms of
rolling
primary.
the 12 was actually really big. Right, it's up. +1 living metal again. So we'll see how many Desolators I can kill.
Yeah, so now it's time for the
this guy is gonna
monoliths
walk
to pop in.
here, hold this point. He's gonna walk 5. It'll be a 5-inch charge. Silent King's gonna move out. Let's grab some cubes. Oh, right, those fucking idiots. God damn it.
It's the infiltrator squad there, my
These
guy.
things in my way.
You can't do that. Those infiltrators are here specifically to beat the 5-cube matchup, you know what I'm saying?
That's 12-inch.
Was that 12? Oh, because they're infiltrators.
Yeah. Yep. Also, they push back.
I only get to put out
but
1 cube. Cool.
I think we can. Yeah, I don't know. We could shift around a cube probably over here to the right,
one
and then
down
put another one
here
down
and
next
get
to
a
it.
shot across the table. Oh, right, I got an A banner.
World Eaters versus Imperial Guard sounds like a massacre for the Imperial Guard.
My banner has grabbed.
Yeah, that's the kind of positive thinking that I want to see. These floaty models just flipping all over the place. What's happening right now? All right,
yeah,
here we go.
it is.
Put another monolith down on the objective. Let's go. Silent King's gonna pop out here, give all these guys rerolls, and hopefully pick up Unit himself. And so I think we're just trying to threat overload here.
So let's see.
If there is a unit of Devastators in strategic reserve, and they're 1 multi-melta and multiple grab cannons. The grab cannons are pretty good here. They are 2 damage, but they're not as scary as the multi-melta, I think, with the D6+2. But those guys are in strategic reserve. We're out of Etheric Interceptors, so we can't do anything about them. And the hope is that we do enough damage that if you can kill all of the Desolators and kill that unit coming out of reserve, the only real heavy shooting is whatever the remaining Devastators are and the Relic Contemptor Dreadnought. The Relic Contemptor itself is going to do a bunch of damage, but it's a little inconsistent against high toughness, high save stuff. It's winning on 5s. It's only AP 1, potentially AP 2 if it rends. So it's kind of hoping to just roll wound rolls of 6 to get mortal wounds and rending off, and it's still going to take a chunk out of a monolith, but it's not exactly going to kill it without really good rolls. Sometimes they just roll like 10 6s and they do a billion mortal wounds because their mortal wound output isn't capped. But that's a little inconsistent.
Yeah, that's fine.
So 2 monoliths down. Are we saving one? We got to put them all down, right? We can't just not put a monolith down right here.
Why infiltrators have to do that?
Just don't go within 12 of them.
Infiltrators, why?
Auspex scan?
Yep.
I guess we just chip more wounds off. He'll come in over here? Fucking 9 inches, god damn it.
Hoping to make reserve charges? Yeah, with
why
like 8 bounds to reroll out of reserve. Strategic reserve on the first turn, yeah. I guess that's a little bit awkward too, because if your opponent goes first, they can do the order to
yeah, cool. Yeah.
To force out to Omni Scrambler their whole army, right? So they can make those reserves really tough.
Maybe back here. No, he could just sit in deep strike, I guess.
So second Plasmancer with the teleport.
Yeah, cool.
It's not
At a
coming
move
out of
phase,
reserve,
I harbinger of destruction your infiltrators.
Wish.
Take 2.
I'll take
only
1.
one. I have to say that 6-up damage ignore is the most tilting thing for mortal wounds for automatic damage. A 5-up damage ignore or a 4-up damage ignore, like you see out of most mortal wound ignoring, it's like you sort of like you remember, like you start playing around that in your head, right? You're like, okay, 2 mortal wounds doesn't really mean 2 mortal wounds. It like probably means 1. But the 6-up mortal, the 6-up damage ignore is just so tilting because you don't like it's so unlikely you don't really expect it to work, but then when it does, it like cuts down a, such a huge volume of your damage.
6. Cool. Hitting on 3s, rerolling everything. Cool. Winning on 2s. Fucking yeah, great. All right. How far away am I? I don't get the extra point. Wait, hit escape, please. Okay, so this one is AP4. Just kills a guy. These are AP5. Oh,
5 up
yeah,
info.
yeah, cool. All right.
1 damage.
3.
First guy dead. Second guy dead. Well, nope, he's down to
No, he's on 1.
Lord
Okay, so
Avocado,
now
this
made
Tempter
50%
Routine,
on your
Fist Melting
6
Ultimate
feel no
Cyclone.
pain.
That does sound sweet. And just blitz that guy. Okay, man, it's time to step on that road of 8 bloody steps. We gonna be fighting. I do think that the Dreadnought profiles, a lot of people think the Dreadnought profiles are underplayed in World Eaters. I think there's this perception that World Eaters is just the 8-bound list, but I think that they have more depth than people give them credit for. I do think that the Angron lists are legitimately probably fine, but it's just not as easy to play. It's just Rick ramming 8-bound in your opponent's face and hoping for the best.
I just kill 2 of them. I kill a guy on 1 wound and then another guy.
So he's dead. Is that all the shooting from that then?
You need to kill a whole another guy.
Okay, so then this guy, I'll kill this guy.
Okay, that is that monolith done shooting.
Okay, 3 guys on the 4-up, they will fire back at you. 2 will fire back at you. They're
No,
going
so
to
the company Ancient starts triggering or shooting some super cracked missiles back into the monoliths.
It's on base that +1.
This is a sweet profile. I think it's largely in here so that they fire back at mortar teams. So if the mortar teams go really hard into the Desolation squads, you get to fire indirect fire at their Kazarkin. You can also make it. You can do it like you force Imperial Guard players to have really, really, really interesting decision making processes, because you at any point that they kill a Desolation squad before their Barbican's Key unit shoots, the Desolation squad can start killing models in the Barbican's Key unit, and then that sort of exponentially drops their power level if they start having to split their fire more judiciously. But in this case, if you're in a straight up fight with them, it just gets super, super scary, because suddenly you're taking laser destroyer hits on the swing back from these guys firing these huge missiles back at you. Kind of a bizarre interaction. I don't know. It's weird that the that the company Ancient can inspire his soldiers to make a shot with a missile launcher, but it is what it is. He inspires them on death to load their slow and clunky recoilless rifle. Clear black blast, target it, fire it, use the wire guided system to connect.
Bad my dice rolls are. Not that bad. Slightly more than average.
We've got the Silent King there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point for no
wound.
prisoners. I found every single time I've seen World Eaters played or played World Eaters, they give up a 15 on no prisoners every
These
time.
are AP3, the 6s are AP4.
And that's fine, but given that they're a faction that relies very heavily on having really strong secondaries, giving your opponent a set of really strong secondaries is also really tough. Because a lot of times they'll
Nice.
they just give up kill secondaries all day because their whole thing's about being killed.
Yep,
That is the squad. Yeah, okay. D6 shots on yellow.
If the other monolith picks up an entire
For 3.
Devastator squad, that's a good start.
Hitting on 4s for the death.
And these monoliths, like I said before, are actually they really slap in melee. That Portal of Exile is 6 attacks at AP3, 3 damage, automatically hits. They flamer in melee, and then also if they're near the Silent King, because their core units get rerolls to wound. So they basically just roll 6 rerolling strength 8 AP3 3 damage hits on you,
He did.
which is not enough to. It could blow up a tank, I guess, but also will just kill 5 Space Marines, no problem.
He's firing back at you into the Silent King.
Yep.
He's on 3s because he doesn't have +1
So
and
it
3s
looks like
to
we're
wound.
trying to knock down the
144.
Meniers right now.
He's
Good.
Just gotta go bye-bye.
Silent
so
King is
far,
gonna
no-
shoot.
No Desolators have done damage on the swing back. That's fair enough.
Meniers into yellow.
Interesting that we're seeing so much company Ancient play now. Those things have not been played in a really long time.
2 shots on 3s. 1 hit. Wounding on a 2. 1 more 5 up.
Damage.
6.
Yeah, fuck that. Who was that into?
That was into yellow.
He will die.
Mm-hmm. And
Next.
then the rest of my shots, I will do the 6 damage. Actually, I think it's only 4 damage, 2 shots. It's 3 damage, 2 shots. 2s, because I'm spent solar pulse. And then strength is 8, so 2s. These are -3? Question mark? Yeah, -3. No. -3. So 6s, and they're damage 2.
2 will die, potentially. 6 up, feel no pain for the first one.
Yeah, they are taking
Dead.
abominable saves here.
Second one, he did.
Okay,
So
do
that
they
was
shoot?
Yellow. Was that yellow?
That was white.
Okay, so they both die.
Mm-hmm.
So is that all you're shooting, or you got more?
That's all of his shooting.
Doesn't he still have a 1 damage gun?
No, I fired everything at white just to make sure I killed them.
Oh, okay.
I
so,
didn't trust my
okay.
dice to not miss.
Okay, so yellow on the 4 up. He's not. And the 2 whiteys.
The tidy
First one,
whiteys, as it were.
he's shooting back. Second one is not. Okay, so that would be the anti-tank guy.
Mm-hmm.
Sergeant dies, that dies, and again I'm gonna put it into the Silent King.
Mm-hmm.
It's on a 2, wounds on a 3. 1, AP doesn't matter to you.
Save on a 4. He's
Okay.
good.
Well, good
He's
saving
just-
throws from Necrons
Next
here.
we've
That's what
got
they need.
the Plasmancer,
And
who's
we
gonna
are
shoot a
down
stick at,
7 Desolators and
Yellow.
5 Devastators.
D3 shots.
Seeing if we can knock out some infiltrators here so that they don't continue to
on a
muck up
3.
the
On a 3. 1 save at
positioning for the last monolith. Now, I'm a little bit worried about this
AP
this Plasmancer
4.
positioning.
Damage.
Since he can get charged by the infiltrators. He's not very good at melee.
6 up, feel no
And
pain.
that can put them on the Necron objective. Otherwise, they'd have to charge the monolith, and there's a very, very
no, that
reasonable
was it.
chance the monolith just kills them if they engage it. But as they now have something to charge that's not the Silent King and not the monolith, I think that just happens. I think that's a little unfortunate. So we might be going for a charge at the Silent King. If they made that, it would be sweet. Yeah, it seems tough, though.
Yeah.
Just let them touch it today.
Yeah, I think you need to...
Hitbox when you like this.
I
Can you put a
think we
bubble
will
on it?
need
1
to go around. I don't know, man.
1
So
inch.
1 inch. If I could get the.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
just
think
touch.
I think this is a little. This is not all the damage we were hoping. I think we needed all 3 monoliths on the table this turn, but I do think that this is enough to keep the game competitive for sure.
No, 'cause that's,
Killing 12 heavy weapon troopers out of the Marine squad, the Marine team is huge because, like we talked about before, if that relic contempt, if in a future turn we only have heavy intercessors and a relic contemptor fighting against the Silent King and monoliths, then things are going pretty poorly, I think, for the Space Marine player. Now, in the flip side, the Relic Contemptor is actually much better at hitting the Silent King than he is. We're charging the Infiltrators. Plasmancer, look at you go, buddy. All right, so this is going to try to prevent the Infiltrators from charging the Monolith, except they're going to pile and consolidate and get within 6. So I'm actually not sure this does anything. At the very least, it could allow the Plasmancer to disrupt control of the objective in the center. Although I think that we're going to just drop an Infiltrator back on that objective.
Yeah, they only get 1.
Don't bother.
Oh, sorry.
Don't
4 up.
bother.
Sorry, I have to do a 4 up at the start of battle phase.
Okay.
You don't take a mortal. Hitting on a 3.
Just don't bother. I have a Helix going to it. I ignore the first failed save.
I still have to make the dice rolls. It is a wound. You can choose. You do have to take your save.
Okay, so I fail it and then I ignore it.
Sure. That's me. You get to pile and consolidate. Go for it. Yeah, I actually forgot that these were 12-inch no deep strike.
2 guys, you
Yeah,
charge
I wonder
me.
if playing this matchup again, if Raze would make the Monolith Deep Strike play. It does seem a little bit tough, especially if the Monoliths can Deep Strike and then have a chance to charge your screens, then it's actually pretty good, because they don't really care about their positioning. They just want the extra movement, and they're pretty good in melee. So engaging a unit of Space Marines in melee will be fine, is good for them. But forcing 12 inches out means that the Infiltrators are never an eligible target for a reinforcement unit. and that just makes it really tough to use them for additional movement. I mean, that's the reason why they're such a great screen. Infiltrators are an amazing unit if you can spend the points on them. So Iron Hand's going to continue to tick up their secondaries here. Look at this. Oh my god. Another 12-point primary turn. Forcing Necrons down to a 4-point primary. I do like this play from Raze to keep the Infiltrators off of his backline objective. I wasn't sure if he was gonna do that. I don't know. Having the Infiltrators forced to charge a big scary thing that's gonna kill them it makes sense to me. But in this case, it works just fine. This little Plasmancer, he's a little Plasmancer who could, you know. Unfortunately, he's gonna give up Osa moment points for killing a character, but he may lose a vehicle this turn anyway, and in which case it won't matter. So Raze has to weather the storm of fire this turn. If Raze survives this turn with limited damage across his army, then he will be in an extremely good spot this game. If he gets killed, if we see like the Silent King go down and a monolith like heavily bracketed or even dead, then I think that I'm not sure if the Necrons have enough in the chamber. But if we see the Silent King make a brace of invulnerable saves, and either not die, if he there's a not unreasonable chance that the Silent King does not go down to the shooting, and if he doesn't, that's incredible. But even if he does and he keeps all of the damage off the monoliths, then I think we're cooking with gas. It really depends on the dice rolls right now. It's kind of wide open.
Padre will advance. 8.
Especially since Raze did mention that his opponent had left him a space in the back line over here. Like we were talking about before with Dudes in the chat. If there's a space in the back here and Indicius doesn't plug that, once the Silent King goes down, there's literally no incentive for Raze to keep his monoliths in a tight formation because they suddenly have no benefit for standing next to each other. Whereas right now they're getting a bunch of rerolls from the Silent King. If he's dead, the monoliths can just sort of break out. And they're less effective for sure, but they're not trying to get a bonus that no longer exists. So there's no reason for him not to take advantage of that drop in the back there. And a monolith, if he gets a little bit lucky, could burn a unit of heavy intercessors down and steal that objective away, and that would be huge.
Just touch this thing. Okay, that is that. Yeah, we'll just.
I do also wonder if Raze is low-key hoping that the fact that he basically has taken an entire turn off, and he's looking at bottom round 5 scoring, so he wants the game to go long, and hasn't had to take many game actions. And in fact, we'll never have to take many game actions with this list. Like, it has so few models. Versus a Space Marine opponent who has a ton of things to do every turn. Every single model has multiple weapon profiles that have to be rolled separately. I'm wondering if it is a little bit of a time pressure he's hoping to put on his opponent here. He is up 22 minutes on the clock.
I'm going to shoot Zagaz.
So, did you actually want to touch the terrain?
Yes.
Because you did not move him.
No. I thought he was touching the terrain.
No, I would have shot at him last turn if he had been touching terrain.
You can't. He's character
right. Character screening. Right.
Okay, so
I just assumed you weren't touching terrain when you put him down there.
No, absolutely. Yeah, he's character protect, so he can't really shoot at him. Can I even see Zagaz? Yeah, I can. I see this good to near bastard.
Do you?
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you can move into line of sight. You had plenty of movement to do it.
Yeah.
So let's go to 2D mode. Yeah. If you move out there, you can see, because, like,
Okay,
the
fine.
line to see...
There he has it, but again, that character protection is a little bit more dicier. I think he was for sure hoping to keep him next to the heavy intercessors and use them to character screen the Relic Contemptor. But doing it with just 5 Desolator Marines means that if things go south, this Relic Contemptor could be in mortal danger.
These are 5s to wound, real 1s. Okay, so you take 4 mortals.
Hell of a conversion.
These are AP2. These are AP1.
Okay, so AP1, saving on a 3. Sorry, it's a 4 either way. 4, so I take 2. 4, as usual. 4. 6 as a dead Minier, and then 2 on the other Minier. 4, yeah, 1 out of 6 saves. 4, and then so he takes 3.
And then you
both
still got
Miniers
these
are
two.
dead.
You got
These are
AP2.
Wait, I thought.
Those were the explosion 6s. These are the normal 6s.
Do you have a special rule that makes these count as 6s to wound?
They do not. That's why you only took it at AP1.
Yeah, so these additional ones are also AP1.
No, but these go. The banner gives it AP2.
Does it? He gives an additional point of AP.
To call
So he gives +1 leadership, +1 AP, fire on death. Where is the additional AP on this?
Storm of Fire.
Ah, it's the Warlord trait. Okay, yeah. Sure, 4s either way.
Yeah,
I made some of those.
So the Manure just die, and then you take 4 mortals on 2 Zeras.
Sure. So I get 1 extra wound.
Okay, and then 2 rockets. It's on 2s, go 1s. It's on 3s. Go 1s. You take 3 rockets.
Roll damage. Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
Cool.
Oh, and that's what we were talking about with the spikiness of this Relic Contemptor. Rolling a bunch of 5s to wound just clocks Ceres for 20 damage.
He was never this much damage too.
We did say we were hoping that Ceres had a hot run of invulnerable saves to eat a bunch of damage for this from this shooting, but
No, it's just fine.
not today. Nergomat, am I casting Motor City Mayhem again? The answer is unfortunately no currently. I just had a discussion with I was on the schedule to do it. I just had a discussion with the organizers this morning actually, and they said that they weren't going to be able to get me to come out this year. But that does mean that it's actually the same weekend as Ironweld, and I will be casting Ironweld instead. So if you're coming to Ironweld, who is a channel sponsor, at least for the YouTube videos, that's in Linfield, Massachusetts. Actually, not too far from Boston, only about 20 minutes. It's a gorgeous area. I'm going there for dinner tonight, actually.
Oh yeah, the multi shots they have 4.
It's a gorgeous area, and the Wicked Dicey crew puts on an insane event. So, highly recommend you come hang out with me.
Take a damage. Oh right, because they improved it. It used to be better.
You also asked him a couple hours ago. That's funny. Nergo Matt, just come to Wicked Dicey. You can cast on my stream. I haven't had a co-caster on my stream, but I'm sure I can figure it out.
The anti-tank into that monolith.
Sounds fine.
Number of shots.
Yeah, it's wickeddicey.com/ironweld
3, 6, 10.
is the website. Go check them out.
You can see you. So these are on 3s. These are 1s. These are 5s.
I'm also going to be streaming this weekend, by the way, chat. It's kind of a last-minute decision, but there's a local GT. We should have 32 players that I learned about way late in the process. Oh, there you go, Silent King. Yeah, I think that was about to be expected after that 20 damage. Ugh. Oh, no. It's all going south. Maybe the monoliths save everything? Maybe. I don't know. Cross my fingers. But I will be live on YouTube all weekend, so you should come chill with me in the chat room. We should have some good games. We have we're developing. I guess we already had one, but we'll have a brace of incredibly strong players. Nicholas Rose, who just top 3'd Adepticon this weekend, who's like coming back to the game. He came back to the game after absolutely demolishing people in previous editions. Hadn't played anything of 9th edition effectively, but outside the T5S2 Invitational in Season 1. He was an Invitational runner-up. I think he top 4'd in the semifinals. Went down to Liam Bissell. And
Hey, I made a file up.
he came back with like in a huge way. I don't know if he'll be there, but he is local as well. So like our local community is actually kind of super super strong right now, which is kind of cool. It's fun being in a shark meta, chat. The The RTTs over here are tough.
Hey, I made a 6-up.
These guys are going to shoot into the monolith.
Yeah, right. I'm Titanic.
Ones.
Indicius avenging your Iron Hands? Yeah.
Nothing.
It does seem like what's happening. We're 12 damage in on the first
entire unit
monolith.
is only armed with pistols, apparently.
No, it's the executioner rifle. It's also
Yeah.
a practice curve. So
Only
no.
the sergeant has it.
Not like this, chat.
one,
I'm sad.
One on your 5-up.
Yep.
Yep,
Hey, let's go.
and that's me done.
Okay, well,
Pass the turn to me.
it was only a Silent King and one monolith, so I guess this monolith didn't end up being bracketed, right? Because it's gonna hail back to an unbracketed state. When living metal takes over. So, you know, maybe it's fine. I was a little bit pessimistic there, but the Silent King did eat all the shooting. The monoliths kept relatively clean. We also didn't bring this Devastator squad in. Oh, that means they die. Oh, chat. Mistakes were made. I think Indicius has punted a little bit here, and by a little bit, I mean kind of a lot. Because another Devastator squad could for sure have killed this monolith, but he forgot to do it. All right, we might be in business. So 2 monoliths and 1 extra coming down. This monolith should be able to clear out. We should see the Desolation Marines get killed. The Devastator should get killed in melee by the remaining monolith. They'll reclaim this objective. The question is whether or not it's like, you know, they're too far gone, but we'll see.
Use fast one.
Come on, guys.
I guess he dies. I don't want him to die, so I'll reroll because I kind of need you to be there so I can bring in my other monolith. Okay, he lives.
That does sound like that sometimes, to be honest.
If you're done,
Ohio, yeah, I can see Ohio being a Shark Tank though. A lot of Ohio. I talked to a lot of Ohio people over the weekend when we were at the booth.
I get 4 again. I get a banner.
Sure, I killed the Silent King.
A lot of Ohio, a lot of Indiana, actually. Kind of
It's
interesting.
battle round 3.
And then, of course, Illinois, because we were in Chicago.
Okay, it's living metal, so he heals for 2, which means I don't need to spend any CP.
Get 1 point for killing the character. Yep, that's it.
So I guess I'll bring these guys up to 12, so I can see where I can bring down my goddamn monolith. 12.
My goddamn monolith.
He heals 2. Sure. So he's gonna move his mighty 6 inches, because I don't ignore difficult terrain. Thanks, GW.
I wonder if there was a...
And then...
I bet you could have started 1 monolith on the table here. I think you could put 1 monolith in this L here and true line of sight block it. Maybe you open yourself up to getting shot by grab cannons through the corner, but I think it's probably fine. It's probably worth the risk, especially if you're planning on using the Death Mark technology anyway, which could limit some of that positioning.
Next turn he'll be able to move out.
And then that gives you a monolith that just peeks around the corner here and starts shooting on turn 2. So you like kill all of the infiltrators probably with the monolith shooting. And then you don't have to worry about the screening on round 3. I think that's what I would have liked to have seen. It felt like we played a little bit too defensively, and obviously hindsight being 2020, you don't know that the Iron Hands player is going to go first, when you're setting up your positioning. But it did feel like we were hoping to go first as the Necron player with all the reinforcements. And if Necrons had gone first here, I think they would have been in a pretty sweet spot. They can really threaten these infiltrators. They can drop in their reserves on turn 2.
Go anywhere else. Sounds awesome. Well, let's kill some Desolation Marines. If I kill purple, your character Dreadnought gets opened up to be shot at. So we're gonna try and kill purple. He's fine. Do I want to fall back with this guy?
San Antonio has some tough people. Yeah, I know Texas meta is always pretty tough. Texas always has a really strong team, a really strong scene.
So we'll do Harbinger.
It's like Texas and Florida, and then the West Coast people. West Coast feels a little bit, I don't know. I haven't really been to a West Coast event, so I can't really speak to it, but it feels like it's a little bit more dispersed, but it still has a brace of really strong people across California and Nevada. This Plasmancer survived taking no damage for a second turn. Oh my god. That's actually really sick. I can't believe we didn't go for charges on that guy. I guess we're hoping we don't want the the characters to be in danger. But that Primaris Lieutenant would cut that guy down, no problem. And then be character protected from the infiltrators. Even if you lose him, you lose OBSEC, but it doesn't matter. There's no OBSEC in the opposing army. And all of these models count as a single model. It's not like they're going to be holding, like stealing objectives from you. Feels like KG play from both these players. I don't know.
Although the point of killing infiltrators right now doesn't matter nearly as much. I can just stand there. He's fine with that range. Okay. As long as he's closer to this one than the reds.
MWG's mini wargaming, like their bunker that they have. We had a short interaction with Dave from Mini Wargaming over at our booth at Adepticon, which was very funny.
So I don't lose anything, so I'll roll them together.
I'm fairly sure he was extremely high.
They're both gonna go in the same squad. Yep. How many 4+s do I roll?
Nice.
5. 5 mortals. That's not bad. Take 4. Kill 2 of them. Yay! You're gonna lose to a Plasmancer, sir.
Yeah, this Plasmancer is actually rocking this infiltrator squad.
Pretty
right
embarrassing.
Now. It's like not
gonna
even
lie.
close.
Okay. So shooting. I need to kill purple, so we're gonna have the monolith. Let's see. Is he within 13.5 of this contender dreadnought? No. So no rapid fire there. So this monolith is gonna shoot at purple first.
He's on that Zine smoke. Yeah, they're busy like CO casting all of the Ravage Star stuff, and there's like molten plastic fumes like in the mini wargaming stuff that everyone's just breathing all the time. In the mini wargaming
okay.
Headquarters. Although I have to imagine that stuff gets built overseas. I don't think that they build stuff in house, but I could be proven wrong. It was cool to hear that they're doing a game over there. That's sick. That's kind of the pipeline I wish I had gone down for my game, honestly. Some of the team and I had talked about it afterwards. And the pipeline of, like, you start as a GW alternative product and then you morph it into a game was one that we talked about, but only after the fact, after we had had our first wave of releases. And so, you know, I don't know, it could be a direction in the future, but it's definitely the way to make a game profitable. If you want to be into game design, just make your stuff compatible with Warhammer 40,000, and then suddenly, like, you have this outlet. I don't know why we're talking about business right now, as this incredibly important shooting phase is happening.
The 6 is AP 3, and the other 2, yeah, right.
So damage.
Just 1.
One guy dies again. That guy dies.
Yep. We'll shoot this monolith. It'll shoot.
On a 4-up, he's going to shoot you back. He doesn't. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the dangerous part here is that the Desolators could fire into the wounded monolith and re-bracket it.
I'm still not going to spend any CP. That's fine.
I think it loses attacks if it ends up bracketing, which would be unfortunate.
Particle whip, a number of shots. 4. On 4s. 1 hit on a 2.
Is this
Make a
into
5
yellow?
Up. Yeah.
This guy's not on 10s, so it would be.
Let me see. Last 5 rolls. I rolled 2 1s and a 2, so it didn't matter.
If only we had the Silent King.
Continues to roll like crap, as usual.
1 5-up. Damage.
And it's 3 damage.
I think the Silent King's an interesting include for the cubes list. He basically takes the spot of like another. He's like 1+ cubes, and he force multiplies the other cubes. But he's such a target because he doesn't get character protected that he probably just gets killed anyway. And you lose your bonus to hit and your rerolls if he dies. So I think there's a pretty decent argument for taking like Imhotep the Stormlord or something instead of him, or Trazen maybe.
The 4s for transhuman. Yeah, make your 5-ups.
2, 3 damage each. Oh, just 1 damage each.
Just 1. These are flare arrays.
These are just 2.
For the Emperor!
Yeah, I rolled like shit to wound.
1 guy
I
dies.
killed a wounded
For
guy.
the Emperor!
Well, it means I don't get to shoot the character
What's up,
dreadnought
my guy?
because I didn't manage to kill another one.
Okay,
That's
yellow on a 4-up. Doesn't. Purple on a 4-up. doesn't. Okay.
I think that
So-
Indicius has
Maybe
rolled a
not
2
realized
for
it.
his reactive
This
fire
spell's
every
gonna
single
shoot-
time.
It's gonna shoot its particle whip at yellow, and it's gonna shoot its flare rays at purple. Assuming I kept myself. Yep.
Getting
And we're gonna spend 1
out-chessed by
CP
Valvar. Are you
for
playing right now? Oh, you are.
6 is to hit auto wound, and 1
Hmm.
CP for 6 is to wound cause immortal.
Good. If
So
we have
we'll
time,
do
we
the
could tune in you guys game
24
real quick
flare
at the end
rays
of this stream.
on 3s. That was not good. 3 wounds. And then 4s for transhuman. God damn it, dude. It's really bad. 1 mortal wounds, and it's all on a 5-up.
Doesn't these auto wound?
They did. That's why it's all on a 5-up.
I'm just saying these included, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So these are 5-ups.
No,
Or
this
they
is
all
a 6. It's
they
an
all-
addition. Yeah, that was the Mephrit strat.
5-ups.
So, yep.
Okay. And these are 5-up journal pains.
Cool. And then
Oh.
1 mortal wound.
Okay, so this is into purple, right?
So you get to roll 1 more die for a
Okay.
5-up feel no pain. Wait, no, do they get it against
No, no.
non-attack?
No, they do, but I think that was the field open. No,
Yeah, it's a
so
6.
So
Okay.
2 die.
Just ignore there.
Right, no, but it was that many attacks plus a mortal wound. So you made
Yep.
your saves, and then you had to roll the feel no pain against the mortal wound.
Okay,
So-
so 1 more 5-up funeral pain. Okay, so 2
No, you
die.
just did the extra 5-up feel no pain.
Yeah, I'm killing 2 of them.
Sure. Do you shoot back?
Potentially. Don't you have more guns? Or is that into Iago?
I have to. Well, I mean, I have the particle whip. It's
Okay.
not going to change if these guys
One
shoot.
Yeah,
guy
that-
will
that
shoot,
Contemptor is
and
sexy as
10
hell,
ground
for sure.
into the wounded one.
It's real.
He's hit on 3s. Wound on 4.
Such an interesting
One,
Contemptor build because it.
43 plus 3 damage.
I don't know. I can't tell if it's a scan. It kind of looks. Some of it looks like it's a scan,
And then.
but
you
also
get
like
decent
it's clearly
shots
modeled
against
very
yellow.
lovingly. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
On
The like
fours,
little
against-
OSL on the
That
parts of it.
double.
It looks so good.
Oh, he's not. So 3s then.
You gotta have a
and
sexy Relic Contemptor if you're playing Iron Hands.
Uh,
Like that's
make
the
the
Relic
5-up
Contemptor is the
those.
centerpiece of your army. Like that's the model that your opponent's gonna be glaring at for most of the game. So you've got to make it look nice.
3 damage.
3. They're 3.
No, fuck that. Okay, so do those 2 die.
A weird pose.
One will shoot back.
He's doing like
the guy
a
that-
he's doing like an action hero like
non-sergeant,
run and gun.
Tank round into
Mhm.
the
He's like
monolith.
running and shooting sideways.
Sure.
He misses.
Misses. All right. Monolith will charge your dev squad.
Yep.
He made it with a 5. Cool. Yeah. This is funny.
Yeah, those are the kind of models that
He
you
is
show
bracketed
people every
now,
time they
so
say
he
like
gets
TTS is
D6
really
attacks on
ugly.
hit.
You're like, really? This situation right here? Like, what are you talking about?
I will not reroll that one because I ran out of CP.
I do think that it's not quite as good as a well-modeled board in
It's at -3, so make a 6-up.
a tabletop game, but I'd hazard to guess that the majority of TTS
I'll
games
just
look better
move
than
up
the
2
majority of
base
tabletop games. Did he just flub out on the Devastators?
Okay.
Chat, why? Why are we like this? The Devastators survive. They're gonna thunder. Oh, because he bracketed to the return fire. Oh no.
Start of the fight phase. Do you take a mortal wound?
Oh, that was a charge. Excuse me. No. Okay. That was
Hey,
an
you
impact
finally
attack.
rolled it.
Okay, I don't feel so bad.
Alright, cool.
Okay. 3 plus 2 is 5 hits. 3s. And 4s.
You mean, oh, you're fighting down here? Okay, yeah.
Probably
I can't die, so 4.
Oh, that was its attack. No, yeah, okay.
Take 2. Very cool.
Yeah, that's a super unfortunate.
I'll fight
Wow,
with him.
that was
Into
not
my
a. I'm not going to say that was a terrible turn from the Necrons because we did kill the majority of the remaining Desolators squads,
Actually, wait a minute.
and we made Odysseus forget about his
Sorry,
Devastators,
it's
so they're going to
straight
be lost in the warp
it's
forever. But
18 minus 3 damage.
that was not what we
So,
needed here.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter, you get the
Okay.
Alright, you get your Devastators.
Okay, this is gonna be funny. But anyway, he has 3 attacks.
Yeah, non-zero chance he just knocks
there's
the
2 of them,
monolith
right?
out here.
But the sergeant has a thunder hammer.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's on 3 4s.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
no,
It's
not
on
going to kill it.
4s. Nothing.
It's edge.
And I don't care about the next guy.
You must make your attacks.
Damn it, guys.
Now, any reinforcement gets
Yeah,
killed
roll
after
those
round
2
3.
dice. How dare you? One hit. Alright, roll an 8, roll 6.
Unfortunately for the
Yeah, sure. I don't think you need leadership on it. Oh no, these guys lost 4.
Um,
so they should be.
unfortunately for the Space Marines here.
A 5 plus. Oh, no, they rolled a 1. Okay. Yeah. These guys lost 2.
2, yeah, and I think no,
They can't run. Yeah, it's
yeah,
your
they lost.
turn.
I get 12 again.
I get another 1 for. I got 2 for per turn at a time? No, still only 1. Infiltrators are in the way.
3 banners. Okay. Let's see now. What?
I've almost managed to chew through the stupid Desolators. Why do they fire both profiles? It should just be one or the other.
Yep. Anyway, at least you don't get to pick the profile.
God.
Iron
Okay.
Fire,
Complaining about Desolation Squads is not where I expected the metagame to go in Arcs of Omen here. Especially as a Necron player. I guess Necrons do have like they sort of have these like medium infantry profiles. But
It's almost like GW sucks at design.
it is what it is.
Even if it was pick a profile, they would be fine. This is my table edge.
That's your table edge.
Uh,
That's your table edge.
I think it was Deuce who was telling me it's almost always the long one, but yeah, all right.
Yeah, give me a
I
sec.
believe. No, I proceed. I can look at the book,
Yep,
the
there we
picture
go.
right now. Player A. Okay, yeah, you're right. I was looking at it earlier to see if this was a hold 1, hold 2.
Yeah, because we played on this map before, so I know it's that one.
It doesn't take long.
Okay. It's just the sergeant. He ain't got nothing to do. What do I have to do? These guys will just move their 3, stumble out of the woods.
Oh, you might be right, chat, about strategic reserves.
These guys will move 3 and stumble out the woods.
That's embarrassing.
That's about it. Okay, let's get to shooting.
That was a Warzone Nephilim
Okay,
rule.
Dreadnought is gonna fire. Yeah, he's gonna fire into the.
I'm just double checking myself here.
Because they're in combat. So I'm spending 1 CP for 6 to wound, count as 2 wounds. Yeah,
That's
way
21
20
dice.
Yeah, I know. It's way 20 dice. Come on. I will do it. 8 on 2s. Okay. I guess he wants to end it also.
Yeah, that's okay. Actually, I don't feel that bad about my position. Depends how many of my monoliths you kill this turn.
16 come in, 22 come out.
Mm-hmm.
You got
did
5.
spike the dice pretty hard.
5s to wound, we got 1s.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay.
Good conversion.
So
It is in the Arcs of Omen book?
these
So AP2, AP1.
AP1, that AP1. These are AP2 plus 4 mortals on top.
It's in the declare reserve step of Nephilim.
These are the
What section is it in Arcs of Omen?
Why are they AP2?
Because it doesn't matter.
Okay,
Those
so
are all AP1s.
okay, so AP1. AP1 is a 3-up. Yep. Take 4, and these are AP2.
Oh yeah, not any strategic reserves. Yeah, I
Take
found it
8,
actually.
And then 4 mortals to take 12.
I think that I don't know what I was reading actually.
That's-
Yeah, it's the last paragraph of the reserves and transports. I don't know why I second guessed myself there. That would have been a weird rule for that would have been a big deal if they had changed that rule.
That minus
3.
these are that's minus 4, and
These
these are
are-
minus 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 ups.
I don't know what was.
And
What was
then
I
a
looking
6
at?
up.
I don't know. I looked at something.
Roll 2d6
Oh, I looked
damage.
at deployment, and it wasn't in the end of deployment, and I stopped
6.
looking. That was stupid. I feel. I don't know. I feel very dumb.
Okay.
I feel very dumb for not believing
Father
myself.
Fires will just fire into this thing. Holy shit! He did a lot of damage. Okay, 3 shots. 1 2s.
So I think these
On
Devastators, I'm not sure
fives.
they're going to be there.
1
We'll talk to the
minus
players when it comes up.
3.
5 up. Good.
Heavy intercessors will fire into it. No. Just give me a second to see a strat. Don't mind. Maybe Use a threat against vehicles.
Yeah, I mean it's like classic like real shit Games Workshop game design, right? They rate the core rules so that you can play them in like narrative missions where you can bring reserves in at any point. And then the GT missions are like, well, we should probably restrict when you should bring reserves in. But most people just play with the with those reserve rules because those are the classic reserve rules. So I don't know why they would. They try to make Warhammer 40k like too flexible of a game, I think, and that creates confusion. Hopefully 10th edition's better, but we'll see.
This is -3. Yep. That's -4. That's -3.
So 5 up, and then a.
It's kind of like Arcs of Omen detachments and stuff too, right? You have list building in the core rulebook, and then you have the GT package just throwing it out. It's kind of obnoxious. I wish they would just pick a direction to go in.
And then these guys are gonna find that monolith. So Sergeant, 2 shots. Both hit. Nothing wounds. The other guys.
Mm-hmm.
The 1s. And 5s. 1.
It's funny when
-3,
people.
6 up.
It just has an aside as well. It's funny when people
Take
like
2
complain that 40k is too complex of a game, and then interactions like that come up. And it's not that like the mechanics of 40k are all that complex. It's just that there's like a lot of really dumb corner case interactions, just that arise because of how like awkwardly the rules are created.
Yeah, that'll be fine. There's a
Sergeant,
bunch of shit in the way.
Yep. Sergeant all hits and 5s to wound. 2 wounds. 5 ups.
Your conversions are very good. So additional point of AP on this one. So it's
No
banner. Right.
They're far away. No, he's dead.
Do I explode? Nope.
Oof. Down to 1 monolith now. Yikes. Yikes bikes,
Your
chance.
5 to wound have been very good. Very consistent.
Codexes and validating
So
other
what about
codexes. Yeah, I mean that's just a metagame
Only
thing.
like what, 6 shots a squad?
Yeah, but how many squads?
The real problem
it's
is
3,
releasing a
so you
codex
fired
with
18
that's like
shots,
so
hitting
borked
on
that they have to
3
change
should
it
do
before it's
12
released. Like
hits,
the dwarf
rolling
codex is
makes
problematic in
about
that way.
14 hits. Wounding on 5 should do about 6 wounds.
But creating a metagame from codex, some codexes being strong in other situations, just makes them interesting. I mean, Arne Zern, right, who plays pretty often in the server, and especially in Hottest Takes and some of the other like neighboring servers. Just took second at Adepticon with Leagues of Votann because he decided that Leagues of Votann was the best
Okay.
in the meta right now, and I think that's interesting because they're not a faction that's doing very well, but they're doing a little bit better depending on the train format. I think that's cool.
He does not. On a 4 up, your intercessors take a mortal wound.
Yeah.
They do.
6 up, they will ignore it. They don't. Nope. Someone gets shocked. Okay, 5 attacks.
Oh, sorry. This is the Metaderma Tesla Weave guy. On a 2 up, your sergeant takes D3 mortal wounds.
Okay, do it.
He does. He takes. Just
Yeah,
one.
I also agree, chat, because they clearly designed the codexes in batches, like you can see it.
Cool.
They're playtest against each other. They have similar mechanics. Like they come up with a mechanic and then they give it to like 5 codexes in a row. And you're like, well, clearly they like came up with this mechanic as part of this like release cycle, and then they just like artificially spread out the release. Just release all the codexes at once right there. And then do something different in the future. But I don't know.
Oh yeah.
The issue is that it like creates unbalanced play states, which sucks.
But
But I don't think we need to talk more about how terrible the codex release cycle is for the playability of the game, because we've done that a million times in the past. I think everyone who plays 40k, isn't franchised in 40k realizes how terrible codexes are.
Closest target is the drop pod, so I actually can't consolidate. Sure. And then we'll see if I stand up. Roll a 4, please. I need this. Well, I rolled it out of the box. Yay! He stands up with 2 wounds. So he goes down. The closest place he can be... He's closest to this guy, so he would pop up on the other side of this one. Outside of an inch. The closest place I could go is, like, right there.
Okay.
If you're done, you can pass the turn to me.
Off you go, guys.
Alright, we're in battle round 4.
Yep.
I have...
Real quick, can you
No
tell me
aura
what's going on
abilities.
with these guys?
I forgot about them.
With which guys?
The,
Oh, shit.
Devastators.
I forgot about
Oh
them.
no! I don't think you're gonna need them, but it's appreciated.
I don't need to kick him down anymore.
Well,
get
yeah,
4.
but they
Kind of bad.
when
Yeah,
when
just
did they set up though? Right, because they'd be dead.
They
a reinforcement step on the third phase, or do I?
he went first. Oh wait, they were definitely dead the turn they came in.
Yeah, because
Okay,
you
so
just
they
set
did.
them up this movement phase, and that was about
Okay, so they did.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
One more
So
point for
he
guys.
We're
deals
ticking up. Yeah, we're ticking up that one no prisoners
heals
point right there
wounds.
for Raze.
I'm gonna spend no CP because I don't have enough CP to unbracket this.
Got
one.
The sad thing
Uh,
is for people that only play one army,
yeah,
you're
'cause they're gonna
decent
pay
for a
me.
month. Yeah, I mean, I only play Tyranids
Come on.
really,
These are Necrons. Like my models suck. He's
and
gonna
it's
move 4.
it's a
Does he get
roller
out of
coaster
the
ride for
woods?
sure. I actually really enjoy where Tyranids are
Can't
right
tell.
now. I like it much more when Tyranids are bad.
Yeah, he's finally free of the rat trap. This monolith is gonna move 6. Actually, I suppose you move this Plasmancer first, so he's out of the way. What are you gonna do, Plasmancer? I need to kill these 2 infiltrators so I can free up this quarter for Purge the Vermin.
Is this
If I
monolith
kill
on this
drop
objective
one.
or no?
He was.
Oh, it was. I get 4 more
Yeah,
primaries.
so you should have one more.
Yay.
Yeah.
We got 8.
Gotta make sure those tiebreakers look good.
Yeah.
I think that we're running into we're very quickly entering the situation where I don't think it's
move
possible for
forward 'cause I
Necrons
need
to come
clear
back.
this drop pod,
They get
but then again, I
an
need to
8
kill
this
these characters
turn,
too.
and they could get a 12 next turn, so that would put them up to a 42. But the
Plasmancer,
problem is that they're cut on Raze
move
banners and
forward
they're cut on
5,
Purge Vermin.
do
So they
1.
could, even if they like max no prisoners,
don't think I can
they're
get
only
any
gonna get like maybe a
characters.
7 on
Get an angle
on banner
to
or a
this
6 on Raze
guy.
banners, and
That was
a
weird.
I think they can only possibly
Yeah.
get
So I can move
an
5 this
what
way,
like
and the
an
closest visible will be
8 on
your,
Purge.
this
And that
Desolation Marine.
looks tough. I don't think
Or
we're gonna get
Harbinger.
there, unfortunately,
Yeah.
for our Necron friends. But it
This
was an
Plasmancer's
interesting
gonna
fight.
move
I think if Necrons had
5.
gone first, it would have been huge. And if potentially if we had
Your
one monolith
lieutenant's
on the
not being
table and we just
shielded
played a
by
little bit more
anything.
aggressively.
This monolith hasn't moved yet.
yeah. They just it's those exile portals on the monoliths. They just vacuum you up,
Cool.
just eat you. I'm
difficult terrain rules.
So Plasmancer Resurrection Protocol. This Plasmancer's been an absolute Chad. MVP of the game for the for Necrons has been this Plasmancer for sure. Just like he's just piling mortal wounds into this army. No big deal.
So we'll go this way, and just hope I kill these idiots. Actually, can I get to the terrain? No, that's within an inch. Okay. So unfortunately, pretty sure I don't kill the infiltrators. We'll see. Shooting. This monolith is going to shoot at Relic Contemptor on that has damage -1. I hit it on 4s. I think what we just pick up some characters. Okay, sorry. End of movement phase. Plasmancer on this Desolation Marine. 3 dice looking for 4-ups. Roll good, please. I'll do these. I'll slow roll them. All right, 1.
That slow roll. That excellent slow roll for the single mortal wound.
Damn you, Plasmancer!
Hoping we could knock the
We're
infiltrator
supposed
squad.
to
I
kill
assume.
him. That's fine. These guys within
Plasmancer
13.5.
was
Yes.
killed the night before.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. I just gotta roll 3 4-ups. Easy, like this.
Oh no! Almost
than
killed the
nothing.
unit. So close.
Yeah. Which one won?
That's unfortunate. And that is,
so
yeah. I guess the
shooting,
hope of the here
this
is that we
Plasmancer
kill
will
the
target down
heavy
the last
intercessors
infiltrator.
with the monoliths, and then
He
we
gets
can
D3 shots.
kill the obsec.
Yeah.
But the Primaris Lieutenant's obsec actually, so it's actually fine.
Hitting on 4s for
Now these
this.
Necrons have done a significant amount of damage. Like they've done serious damage to the Iron Hands army. It's not like this game was a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. These two armies are doing huge slobber knockers to each other. Did kill out the infiltrator squad finally. And we're probably just gonna start eating heavy intercessors now.
No.
2 shots and 4s. 1, no, 1. 2 at -1.
They're -1 because of the banner?
Yep.
Okay, 5-ups.
Bye-bye.
I take 2. No, he came back with 2 and healed 1 from Living Metal.
So he's down to 1.
So down to 1. Not like that matters too much, but yeah.
Yeah,
This Plasmancer is going to throw his Aeon Staff down here, because it's range 21? Range 21?
21.
Number of shots! 1 on a 4. On a 3. Make a
6
5 up.
Yeah, he
It's
did.
D3 damage. Sorry, is it
Well,
2
he
damage?
only has 1 wound, but anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's 2 damage.
If I go
Feel
2
no
6
pain.
ups, he's alive. No, he's dead. On a
Ah.
4 up, does he kill you back? Nope, he doesn't. He's tied.
Okay. Shooting. We're going to fire this monolith. It's going to
Finally,
put
all
its
the
flare
Desolators are done.
arrays into your Contemptor Dreadnought. It's going to fire its big gun at these heavy intercessors. And we're going to spend 1 CP for 6s to hit auto wound. What do I want to do? Mortals. I think the mortals are better. I get 6 additional wounds on average dice. No, 4 additional wounds. Mortals punch through, so you don't get an armor save against those.
I do have a 6 up, feel no pain on him.
Yeah, but it's better than the. Actually, I'll be AP3 either way.
5 up in bone also. So
Yeah, so I think the mortal wounds are technically better, even though I have a lower chance of getting them. So we'll do the flare rays against your Contemptor Dreadnought first, which is 24 shots. On 4s, because I'm bracketed. I needed to spike the other direction. And then wounding on 5s. Fuck. 1 mortal and 4 saves on your 5 up. So roll this again for your 6 up, feel no pain. Yeah.
he takes
Take 4. I think the auto wounding 6s were better. Whatever. And then particle whip down on these intercessors. Number of shots. 1. On a 4. On a 3. Actually, I think they're strength 12. Yeah, so it's a 2. It's AP minus. Are you within? No, it's AP minus 3.
6 up. Someone dead.
You get a 6 up, feel no pain against it. Yep.
Yep, someone
I
dead.
kill 1. I kill you. Next shooting, this monolith is going to fire particle whip at the heavy intercessors. I think I'm supposed to fire everything at them, so we'll fire. Yep, we'll fire the particle whip and all the small guns at the intercessors.
I'll pop a
We'll
CP for transhuman and CP for 5 up feel.
We'll start with the particle whip. Number of shots. 4 on 3s. And then 4s. Just 1.
5 up. Damage is 3.
3. Mm-hmm.
5 up feel no pain. He takes 1.
Take 1. And then 24 shots with the flare arrays. On 3s. Cool. I roll 14 1s and 2s, as usual.
As you do.
4s.
Just casual 14.
It's a bunch.
We need Silent King in here to get
Ups.
rerolls, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
1
Sure.
guy dies.
You take a wound.
No, it's 5 up feel no pain, so he takes 2.
Right. And you failed a total of 4.
Yeah, so he dies. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you meant the other guy.
Yeah. No. Just 1 point of damage is
Okay.
extra.
On a 4 up, he might just end that little that present boy. He might. It's on a 3. We go once. Who's on a 3? Nope. This one guy dies.
Okay. Charges. Monolith is going to try and charge this guy.
Yep.
Get him! I think I need like a 7 probably because of
Yes.
pivoting, but we'll find out.
Oh, it should be
I
enough.
think a 7 is fine.
Let's
Let's see. First off, do I fit?
Just you should be fine.
Yeah. So here's 5.3. Get another 1.7.
Yeah, pivoting.
We will not
Fine.
base you so I can pivot into the primary. Oh, it's. I
It's
mean, I
a-
can stand on top of it.
Yeah, it's a bomb, but I'm just saying it's over here. So
Yeah. It's an objective, which technically doesn't have a hitbox. Plasmancer. Will get out of the way of the monolith. He'll charge your lieutenant. Lieutenant would put you into the center. I don't think he charges. I think he just chills.
let's charge these guys.
I mean, I could pull you further away from the middle. I don't think it matters. Well, let me chip another wound off of someone. Nah, he's okay where he is. So, start of the fight phase. On a 4-up, your heavy intercessors take a mortal wound. They do.
Got him.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Rex. heavy
Sergeant on a
intercessor.
4-up. Nope. I think that was everyone in range. Yeah. So D6 attacks into the Iron Forge, Father. Roll hot.
Yeah,
5. Wounding on 2s. Actually, are you toughness 5?
Toughness 5.
All right, 3s then.
You know,
Relevant. 3 saves.
5 ups.
Take
Damage.
6 damage. That's
Oh,
3.
that's unfortunate.
He has a 5 up funeral pain.
Just barely didn't
Takes
kill him.
5.
5.
Yep, the extra point of toughness was relevant. You get to fight back.
Okay. He has his.
Yeah, Necron's not doing so hot, chat. Unfortunate. They had a pretty good. They came out pretty well, and they killed a bunch of stuff. But then the Silent King broke cover and just got vaporized immediately. The Relic Contemptor Dreadnought did 20 damage to the Silent King in one shot, and that was mostly tough to come back from for our poor skeleton robot friends here.
2 at -2.
Your 50% 5-ups are
Tough to get use out of these monoliths when you're not rerolling anything. When you're kind of you're sort of your list is predicated on having My Will Be Done and rerolls, and I think that highlights a weakness of the Silent King version of this build. Without character protectable characters, you lose your support abilities pretty quickly.
Okay. Wait, let me double check. I think that's I'm pretty sure he only has 1.
Which is sad.
Sure, I'll put on my clock while you check this.
You only should have 1 because he only has 1 bloody.
But I think
So,
Iron Hands at this point, they've maxed their primary. They're down 9 points. They could score oaths if they leave a bunch of stuff alive in the middle, which is probably likely. They could score oaths for probably 3-4 more if they don't run out. If Pharos doesn't run out of melee. To be honest, there's not much melee here. I think that he does want to fall back, and then they take the shots into the monolith. He's already maxed on banners. Yeah. Oh, he didn't score oaths for the previous round either. Yeah, okay. So he's down 3 on Codex Warfare currently. He could get it. He could get it for killing the Plasmancer and probably the Wounded Monolith. I don't think he has the beef to kill the second Monolith. But from there, Necrons get... Yeah, it's tough. They probably scored like Purge for 1, maybe, and banners. So they go up to 5 on banners. Purge for 1, get like maybe a 10, no prisoners. So probably looking at low 50s for the final score on Necrons.
Look, everyone's sitting where they are. We're just ending this. Oh, he's just gonna fall back because it doesn't matter.
Coward.
Yes, he is. So Dreadnought, 21 CP for 6s to hit, auto wound. I mean 6s to hit.
You
Explode.
mean 6s to wound?
Yeah, 6s to wound explode, and he will
I feel
fire.
like that's a 1 CP strat. That is so dumb.
Well, Iron Hands, they're pretty much dumb. Yeah, just kill this damn thing. Okay, 16 shots into the.
Someone at
weak one.
GWHQ did love
Sure.
Iron Hands. A lot of these stratagems for Iron Hands are absolutely ludicrous. You can't be like a reasonable game designer and look at the doctrine mechanic and not immediately
5, 6s up,
identify that Devastator doctrine is clearly the best one.
Once again.
Okay, so these are on AP2, these are AP1, so these are 3-ups. I take 4, these are 4-ups. I take 6, do I explode?
A dead monolith, yep.
Nope.
Don't you have a CP to auto explode?
It costs 3 CP because it's Titanic.
Fuck. Anyway.
Yeah, no, like I'd use it, but I don't have the CP.
Yeah, okay. These guys are just gonna blast him.
Sure.
2 big boy shots. 1s. And please to kill. He's dead.
Yep. Link.
And I guess these guys are
That's
just going
2 more
to
for
fire
Codex
into
Warfare.
one.
So there's literally no more points that Space Marines can score here.
5s. Nothing. 4 more shots. Please go with 1s. 5s. 2 on your 5-up.
Yeah.
Take 2
Take
damage.
2.
these guys over here that you were kind enough to shoot. The sergeant, it's on 3s, it's on 5s. 1 on your 5-up.
Take
That's
3.
3 damage and 4 shots. Your 1s and 5s. 2 on your 5-up.
Your 5-up's crazy, man.
You take 2
Take
more damage.
2.
And that's me done, guys.
Okay.
You get this
That's turn.
max.
Okay, I get end of turn scoring. So I don't think the Plasmancer can get. Oh, he could if I roll a 6. No, yeah, if I roll a 6, I can get there. Okay, let's see if I roll a 6.
Would love a 6 here.
Done again. Is a charge better? Clear the middle. No. All right, do I roll a 6?
A
Nope.
1. That's probably
Equals
worth a
6
command
inches.
point there.
What do you want to do?
I can't even get to where I want to be, so we'll just go to
It's
here.
good pushing
and
for that.
throw
We do have a
some
Cryptothrall who's hiding in
Arbiter
the
shots
back
at
over
these
here.
guy.
If we can get to the objective,
Model
and you can push for the
8.
12, that's certainly worth. I'm not sure if holding our CP here
They're
matters.
Necrons.
Getting an extra
They
4 points
suck.
for tiebreakers is pretty good.
But this guy's
Mostly playing for final score now.
Like, I know he's a buffing character, but
They're
The casual
Necrons. They
67 point
suck.
turn, yeah. I mean, no prisoner scores endgame, right? So we
I
haven't
don't
scored
need to
that.
reiterate this many times. They're bad. Actively terrible. Okay. So picking
Like
up
this is a
these
lot of dead stuff, right?
infiltrators
That's 1,
and
2,
these
3,
guys are
4.
really
All 3 desolation squads are dead, so that's
don't
3
have a
points.
CP for 5-up field with them this time.
We've also killed 3
So-
devastator squads, so that's another 3 points. So
Yeah,
that's
but you can't
6,
transfer
7 with
So we're
bonus.
gonna shoot the
Plus heavy
flare array at the
intercessors, and it's probably we
infiltrator,
probably get another one. So
hopefully
they're at least 8
shooting,
points down on no prisoners.
because none of these are worth anything.
At
we'll
this
shoot
point, you
the,
probably just start reaming
We'll
the
shoot one
infiltrators.
flare array at this squad, 3 flare arrays at this squad, and the big portal gun at these guys. So
okay, so
we'll start with
this-
the.
I'm not gonna spend my CP on anything. Go ahead, do your damage, guys.
Okay. We'll spend 1 CP for 6s to hit auto wound, and 1 CP for 6s to wound cause mortals. We'll start with the 1 flare array into the teal squad. There's 8 shots. Oh, sorry. The last battle round, we are +1 strength in the charge. Though I don't think 9 actually matters on anything.
Nope.
So I guess 6s to wound will be +1 AP. Sure. That also doesn't matter on anything. Whatever. On 3s. Right. Because you have a guy not in fence. And then 3s. Did you transhuman or feel no pain?
I did not, and then those auto wound, those
Okay.
2 6s.
Let me see. Yeah, so 2 auto wounds, and I'll just re-roll these to wound on
Yeah,
3s.
yeah.
Yep, no 6s to wound, so make 6 saves at a 6 up. No, sorry, 5 up, because you have invo.
Damage.
Then damage 1.
Okay. 1 dies.
Killed.
And 1 takes.
Damn
It's funny that it's so much.
The whole reason I put a flare there because you had 1 wound on a guy.
It's
okay. Then we'll do.
so
18
much
shots
shooting
on
from
the
Monolith,
infiltrators.
but it's largely 1 damage. This is a classic like Necron profile where they're always like a little underpowered for what you
In the
expect.
dents.
If this Monolith had come out more recently, it would be like 350 points and 2 damage on all
Again.
solo guns for sure.
Might actually get
And I think that would feel a little bit better.
Yeah. So it is no info on them, right? So these 6s punch through. I'll just turn them into mortals. These are all 5 ups.
With these, right?
These are auto wound. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. So those are 5 ups.
You'd probably be like
Ups.
heavy 4 on the
And
guns.
then,
Flex are
so
just 2
these
damage instead of rapid
punch
fire 3.
through, and then we add 2 more mortal wounds. So these are your 6 up feel no pains. Damn, I didn't quite wipe the squad. Rip.
2, 4, 6. So 3 die,
Mm-hmm.
and 1 takes a wound.
And then we've got the particle whip.
What?
Number of shots. 4. On 3s.
The interesting thing here is that intercessor dies to
the
coherency.
3s again.
regardless.
Because you're T5. That many at -4. Make 2 invos. 3 damage. Kill the wounded one.
Yep. And
And then we got is a charge on that squad of guys. I get an
Go
8.
get him, buddy. We believe in you.
Yeah, we'll
Get
just
those no
base
prisoners
this one
points.
dude. Oh, sorry, I had to throw my mortals
Yep.
over here. I don't think it matters, but I could kill him. I don't think that matters. Do I do mortals? I do 2.
You do
You
1.
take 1, and then D3 shots. or 2 on 3s. They both miss. Okay, so it's irrelevant. 6 auto hits. Wounding on... wait, you don't get... Yeah, okay. I did take the extra AP. Wounding on 3s. 6s are AP 4. The 2 punch through, unless it's not just against ranged.
It's all the time.
GW, why you like this? Okay, make 5 invos.
The most
Sorry,
broken
3
ability in the
invos,
game, chat.
Number.
5 plus 1
All right, do you roll a 6 up?
Let's go.
How much damage is this?
3. We got a guy on 1.
There's a Pauper Prince
right?
version of that that does it on like 6
Fuck
point
the feel
models.
of pain. You can add the victims.
Woo! And that's the game. I get another 2. I get another banner and a banner on the last turn. I get 2 on Purge the Vermin, and I get it was 123 minus
You should have about 10 with all this.
15, so 108 minus 12, 96. So I get 10.
10. Yep.
Yeah.
And I get 4.
There you go.
Cool.
The old
Closing
low
thoughts.
50s.
These things should be choose a mode. They should not fire both guns.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm gonna lie,
to
this
be
was-
fair,
this is
I don't actually think I did that bad.
This has been
I
quite
forgot
a
about the
field
infiltration.
This has been quite.
I forgot
the whole damn game. I mean, whole tournament.
I don't really think I did that bad because, like,
Well, I
at
got
the end of the
10-1.
game.
I did get
I
10-1,
had-
which I picked up your TV.
Oh no, I was expecting the Tazrock Vault to die. The only thing that would have change is if I got turn 1 is I'd get to Sky of Falling Stars and maybe pick up
Couple of desolations.
3 Desolators, which in the long run probably wouldn't have made a huge difference.
Mm.
But in the peace trade, like I was expecting to have around 2 monoliths left on turn 4, which is what I did. Like the turn they come down, if I'd been able to pick up all 3 squads of Desolators, why the fucking
you could've-
transhuman
Maybe
and
could've
5 would
had,
feel no pain.
And 5 weapon ball. And
Yeah. No. Company agent with a 5 of Invo is good tech. I would
Well, not
did
him.
not count on
he
that.
has the 5 up.
Yeah. Well, either way,
That's fine.
that was very good into the matchup because I get AP and it's high EP versus high EP, and unfortunately you get an Invo and I don't, so I lose.
Yeah, well, 10th edition's coming along.
I'm probably not going to play 10th edition. It
Well-
doesn't look interesting to me at all.
I don't know. I might take a look into it. At least
Oh.
I don't have to play NA pods and fight Devon for freaking top.
Now I need to see if that battle loss actually lost me 2nd place, which it may well just have.
Yeah.
I've still got 50. It's not that bad.
All right, Chance.
Well,
if we have any
just-
questions for the players, go ahead and throw them in while we do our breakdown here. Take some interesting final thoughts. Interesting to hear some negative opinions on 10th. 10th seems good for me, but
they are.
I don't know.
Assuming Isaac loses, I'm pretty sure I get 2nd.
Yeah, that
Get
is
first place.
that is pretty hot for sure.
I don't know.
10th does look
Even though I did
interesting,
get
but we have
10th.
to see data sheets. We gotta see cold hard data sheets. That's my opinion, chat.
Still have fun playing this monolith list.
Yeah,
It is
it's
fun.
It's more fun than my. Although I did not expect this to be a very good list, to be honest. I didn't expect these damn desolation marines to actually do this much damage.
No, the fact that you shoot on death on a 4-up, then just fires an anti-tank weapon is very stupid.
Well, that's the ancient. He's always done that. But the problem is that you have 3 guns
like-
in one squad, and they
You
can
know,
fire
most-
all of them.
Most of the time when you're firing one shot, you're firing what? A bolter? Or if you're next to a Devastator squad, you shoot a multi-melta? Now the fact you can just stick them next to this and fire a 48-inch damage D3 plus 3 gun that rerolls 1s to hit is a little silly.
Yeah, one's to hit, one's to wound.
Yeah. Desolation Marines are probably like a 50 point model, you think?
I think
I'm trying to think of like in terms of damage output, how many points they should be.
to be fair, it should
At least 45, right?
It should be pickup profile. Like if you give them all
Yeah.
Vanguard launchers and say pick the profile, either you get the direct or you get the anti-tank.
Well, only the sergeant can take a Vanguard launcher.
Yeah, but even so, that's just like a bit of extra on top. You still get, if you could say pick the indirect or you pick anti-tank, not shoot indirect, shoot anti-tank.
Oh, you mean like pick a weapon to bring on the model?
Yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't get both guns. I don't know why, and also why do they all get signums? It is
No, it's
silly.
just the sergeant gets the signal
Yeah, but like, why do you get to bring a signum in the squad?
because they're trying to make a knockoff Devastator squad. That's about it.
They're like a Devastator squad that does everything.
Yeah,
They're
it's like
very silly.
It's like an interesting profile because like I think generally speaking you don't assume that they get to shoot both because like either you're hiding or you don't have that much to like shoot the little gun at. That's like that exciting. But I think in this situation where you're firing, where you can just see the opponent's entire RB through obscuring terrain, like, definitely is extremely good in this matchup.
And also the other the other problem is
like
these guys are infantry, so it's not like the whirlwind that you gotta stick it and then leave it. These guys generally do stuff.
Yeah, they're still a Primaris body and they wander around and do things. Yeah.
So 5-up Funeral Pain benefit from all the auras that
Yep.
like the ancient one that you can just shoot on diff.
Yeah.
As silly as it is, I kind of feel like Mala should go down to about 200 points just for how easy they're to pick up right now. They're just not durable.
They need a 4-up invuln.
Just give them quantum shielding. That would give them a 5-up. You could spend a CP to give them a 4-up, and it gives them transhuman, which would solve a lot of their problems.
So I don't know,
It should have a quantum shield generator inside of it. I mean, it's a giant walking portal. Walking because it doesn't fly anymore for some godforsaken reason.
Yeah, this is kind of like with the new data sheets that GW just pretty much says, listen, we're done. You can wait till 10th.
Yeah, I'd wait your 4 years for better. I remember when the Codex came out and I read that they lost fly, and I'm like, what? Why would you do this? It doesn't make any sense.
It was the same with the grav tanks with the Space Marines. Like, it's a grav tank, so it should fly, but...
Oh, you know what? I actually get it now. That's the precedent. These are essentially transports. They're like Necron grav tanks. Granted, nobody uses that way because they're terrible for that. But the idea is you're not supposed to be able to go over a wall with your flying transport and then deep strike in a unit of boys. That's probably the logic for losing fly.
Yeah, sure. And then you have Gene Stealer Cult that can just deep stack the whole bloody army.
Look, no, I mean, there's no reason they shouldn't have fly back at this point. But that was probably the reason they took it off of it, because of how obnoxious grav tanks were back in 8th.
Was Monoliths really tearing up the meta back then? I mean, the only thing was...
No. They were bad. They were bad on Codex release.
Yeah,
they were like...
They were terrible for a really long time.
Like 300 points? 320 points on release?
I don't know if
there were 300 points.
Single time I've been playing 40k.
There's like been a terrible justification. Oh, Space Marines gravs are very good. Let's kick Necrons in the nuts just to be sure.
A lot of the changes in Necrons were made to try and keep the power level of the Codex low. Like the way it is right now is...
No, but they made a new sculpt for the model. So why the hell do you not want... They just don't want you to buy the damn brick. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, the Necrons never made sense. They were just held up by their secondaries. That's it.
Oh yeah, like the way Necrons are right now with protocols and everything, not being like having an always active protocol and having a character not needing to be in range anymore, is probably the way the Codex was play tested, and they went, all right, that's good. Now let's walk the power level down so we have so the game's not broken from release. Though I doubt GW cares about that. But basically, the way it is right now is
looking at your protocols. I don't think any of them are game breaking.
No, but like they're supposed to, like, imagine
you don't get any free rolls hit. You don't counter them, like all the good stuff. Like God, they get +1 strength on their weapons. Ignore heavy penalty. Ignore cover. Fuck, I hate that Codex. But anyway,
yeah, guard are silly. I'd say the piece of this Codex, this piece of this list I've been most impressed with, which feels really weird to say, it is the death marks. Like every time I put them,
these guys will probably put a nice hole in that damn horse's head if you get.
I have never managed to. One of my pod matches, I managed to charge Load Solar with a monolith and not kill him, which is
he halves damage. So for some reason, that horse is very tough.
He was on 2 wounds, so all I needed to do was convert with 1, and I did not. But No, like being able to just put the death marks down and pick up like a utility character. Like, you know, if I wasn't so far behind, I might have been able to bring it in
One
and
thing that these guys
like
in a
pick up
pack
the
of
ancient.
those in a pack of 10 will probably kill a Cassican squad quite nicely.
The problem is they're, I think they're still 13 points. Yeah, they're 13 points apiece, and this list is really tight. Like, I could straight up cut the Tesseract Vault, which is probably smart to do. I mean, I really don't want to.
How many Ascended Catons is this guy?
He is 1.5 Ascendant Catons for 30 wounds and a 4-up invo save. He's also a giant, please shoot me turn 1 target, which...
But the problem, well, it would be good if we had a... Nah, it would be quite stupid if we had a wound cap. Or maybe a wound cap of 10 each, but maybe.
Maybe 8, so you couldn't one around him.
Well, 10
but
each.
That's...
So like 10, 10, 10.
Yeah, but like, that way you... like, well, it's irrelevant. He's
like,
good.
Very few armies have good melee and good shooting.
Yeah. And it takes at least... If they don't kill him in 1, right, then it takes another phase, because he heals.
Yeah, that would be the idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's
These
good.
Guys, like, these guys are kind of very good tech for killing those bloody evil Cassican damn units.
Yeah, they're good. The fact you can counter Deep Strike, and like, they did exactly what I wanted them to do up here, which is they popped in, and
does the little Desperado guy do? Doesn't he do like 12 shots?
No, he does 6. And those 6 shots don't get additional range because they're pistols, which means I can't shoot anything I come down from this stupid Desperado.
Oh, yeah, you only have 6-inch guns, so that's dumb.
Yes. I actually might be a 12. But the point is that it doesn't get additional range. It doesn't get additional AP because I don't get the additional range. He doesn't do mortals if you roll 6 to wound.
You guys are better then.
I think they're better. They're also more durable.
It's also dumb that they don't ignore the penalty to hit for moving, but you know.
Not a character.
Come on,
right? So you don't give up the max.
Yeah, don't give up assassinate.
Mm.
I think the next pod I'm gonna.
I just like the Desperado like model, but he's never been like he's kind of like fresh though. Yeah. Like they just made a model and they just like tacked on rubbish tools to it.
I think we're gonna try dropping the monolith and bringing. Wait, maybe am I tight on slots in this list?
No.
No, I could just bring 30 death marks. That might be worth trying.
This seems pretty solid.
Every time they can all Cassican squad, you just show up and shoot them, which is quite a nice idea, but no.
It's not bad.
Anyway.
And the counter deep striking to push back your disembark is a thing I've done since like the start of 9th edition, and it almost worked. It almost worked if all these fucking idiots did get to fire both guns. It would have been a great plan. It was like, haha, either you use your indirect to take me out, or you fire your rockets. You get to shoot both?
I said, nope, I get to kill you.
Ah, my plan has a hole in it.
Yeah, it's called a bullet hole. And I have weight of fire. Literally, I have weight of fire to put you down.
Well,
people
as badly as I lost, I didn't actually feel that bad this game. Your 5+ conversions were wild, but other than that, I didn't really feel that bad. It was fun.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for the game. Nice.
Yeah. I'll see you around.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you'll be playing something.
Congratulations on taking it down, and thank you guys.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay.
Thanks for grabbing the game on short notice, Trevi.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
Guys, good luck with Devon. I'm not going to be playing NA for a while.
Oh,
that's fair.
Okay.
I'm not playing Brady Picking God anymore. That army irritates the crap out of me.
Well, just wait for the data slate. I mean, clearly everything will be fixed by GW.
Yeah,
the data slate is going to come in and nerf Votan again because clearly they're winning way too much. Can't have that.
It's like they were supposed to have an FAQ for World Eaters, and they literally just said nothing.
And they said, nope, there are no errors in our perfect rules. All right, I will catch you around later.
Cheers, guys.
Guys.
Yeah.
Cheers, Gabby.
All right, chat. That is it for now. I am going to go ahead and pop off. We do have that. There's a TiVo game going. We could have a pop in here. It's on the Discord. Pop out.
Here's Trevi.
There it is. Hello, everyone. This is I know Valdor's on Dark Angels. Yeah, it looks like we're TiVo streaming right now, so we're on Iron Hand side versus Dark Angels. Looks like Dark Angels are all over the place. There's a Brutalis Dreadnought going absolutely ham over here, which is kind of fun.
And
But anyway,
then
chat, we'll go raiding real quick. Thanks everyone for coming and hanging out with me today. I really appreciate everyone jumping back in after the hiatus. We should be on around the same time
so he will
tomorrow.
come where?
I have my Speed Hammer game tomorrow, and then Friday should be a Pod 12 game, so it'll be gameplay from me for the rest of the week. Then this weekend, come hang out with me on YouTube. We're going to stream in a GT. I'm super psyched about it. I've got a GT this coming week, and then I've got a GT next month to stream, so we're going to have a lot more 40K content on the big channel. I've got new cameras and everything that I haven't used, I think, enough of since Captain Con, I think. And the Captain Con stream went super well, so hopefully that we can get these streams up and running. All right, let me find somebody to raid real quick here, everybody. Let's see what's on the Twitchers. People playing games? Any games going on? No. Oh, there is a TTS game. We'll go hang out within the TTS game. All right, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. If I can find this channel. Oh, there is one. Oh, Blood Angels Commander's live. That's cool. Let's go raid him. Blood Angels Commander's a sweetheart. All right, everyone. Hey, thanks for the follow, by the way, Johnny B510. Appreciate you. Thanks everyone who came and chilled for today. And I'll see you on the flip side. All right, let's go to the bathroom, and I'm going to go shopping real quick. And
Oh.